You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Be my victim.
Hello, my name is Austin Torrez, and welcome to Would You Die Live, the show where we talk about your favorite horror monsters and villains. And today I'm joined by just some of my best friends in the horror community. You know them, you love them, Bobby and Michael from People Under the Scares. How you guys doing?
Woo! I'm doing
Amazing.
great.
How you doing?
I am so excited because if you guys follow this show, you guys will remember that Bobby, Michael, and I did a live stream a couple months ago where we went through 68 horror films that I picked. We did a bracket and we determined that Alien is the greatest horror, or at least the greatest American horror movie ever.
Yeah.
Crazy how that worked out. Crazy.
Right.
And it was perfect because it led us to this moment.
Mm-hmm. Going back to that, like I wouldn't have thought that Alien was going to win that whole thing, and it's just funny how it did. And
I'm still surprised Jurassic Park got as far as it did.
It's scary. Okay.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. Jaws was fine.
Don't even bring that up. Oh my god.
You know,
friendships were ended over the great Gremlins Little Shop of Horror debate.
yes, like the fun. I did watch Jaws over the summer though, and it is still a great movie. But yeah.
Yeah,
scared
wait,
of
I'm
the
going the wrong
ocean.
way.
For you to not have picked that movie is insane to me. But that's in the past.
It is in the past, and I will say this: it wasn't going to make it, and Aliens still was going to win regardless. So, yeah,
You don't know that. You don't know. They're both
Jaws
very tense.
sure wasn't.
They're both very Jaws and Alien could have been toe to toe.
Well, seeing how Alien beat Jurassic Park, which beat Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream and The Exorcist and the
Listen, right?
Alien was not going down to anyone. I am
No.
But today we are talking all about Alien Romulus, and I'm pretty sure we're going to talk all about Alien and Aliens and Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection and Prometheus and Alien Coven. I ran out of. Did you guys see that? I didn't take a breath. I ran out of talking for a second.
There's a lot of Alien movies. Are we including Alien versus Predator in this too?
I can't. I will let you guys decide, but I love Alien versus Predator, so I would say
I do
yes.
too. Yeah, I do too.
This is an Alien versus Predator friendly zone, in case anyone didn't know.
Yeah. The second one is,
I don't think that one's that bad. I really don't.
It's not that bad. It's just the movie. Certain things about it that I strongly dislike, and the movie was just dark as hell. Like I was rewatching it with my partner recently because he's fallen into the whole Alien thing after we seen Romulus, and we were watching Alien versus Predator Requiem. And he was like, why is this movie dark as hell? He made me turn up the brightness on our TV just to see certain scenes. That's how bad it was. And I remember we seen that. That was like one of our first dates. And he did not remember that movie at all. We went to actually see that in theaters. And he didn't remember anything about that movie. I'm like, we seen this in December of 2007. Like, what?
I would say realistically, it would be that dark. That's just the way I explain it away while watching it. I wouldn't be able to see shit. I wouldn't be able to see the aliens. I wouldn't be able to see anything.
All right, for them, yes, but for us as viewers, no.
Yeah, I was about to say, here's my counterpoint. What's the point of watching a movie if you can't see it? It don't matter if the characters can't see. Right. I need to be able to see.
It's almost scarier if you can only hear and not see. It's almost scarier.
Okay.
All I'm saying is Don't Breathe had a brilliant scene where we could see what was happening in the
Oh
characters
yeah,
couldn't.
Yeah.
Speaking
true.
of Fede Alvarez,
Yes.
who did Don't Breathe,
Yeah, yep.
I think it's time we start talking about Alien Romulus. I'm gonna rip this band-aid off right away. If you guys are listening and you haven't seen Alien Romulus, this will be a spoiler heavy conversation. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go right into it. So hey Jordan, welcome.
Jordan.
What's up?
So
Hello, mortal human.
I am so excited to get right into this. And because I got some thoughts, but I'll let you guys go first. Did you like or dislike Alien Romulus?
You want to go first, Mike, since you've seen it twice?
You got the notes ready.
He got a whole book. Oh my.
No, I actually had a lot of fun. So the first time I went with a friend, and I didn't know he was an alien head, but he was like really into it too. So that made it even more fun. We were having theories and everything while the trailers are going on. We were jumping a little bit, talking a little shit about the characters during the movie. It was just really entertaining and it felt fresh and new and young.
Y'all talked during the
obviously
movie.
it wasn't like full on. It was like
I'm fucking with you.
Throw a face hugger at him. I
have one downstairs, actually.
Oh no. And the second time I went and I did 4DX, which was kind of cool watching it with I figured it's space, so why not watch it 4DX? You're moving around a lot, all the shit that's happening in the movie. It was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Did you actually get acid on you? Like, did it hurt?
So I don't even think acid they used anything. I think it was just blood splatter. They might squirt some mist or something in your face.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering if this is the only Alien movie I've seen aside from versus Predator I've seen in theaters. I don't know if I saw Prometheus in theaters. I don't know. But yeah, I had a great time.
I'll interject real quick to say Prometheus was one of the first rated R movies I saw in theaters without like a parental guardian.
Oh wow. Are you a baby?
Yeah, I'm yeah. Because I just graduated high school in 2012.
Okay.
So I was 17 at that point. And then Alien Covenant I saw 3 times in theaters.
Yes.
I love. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but and Jordan, I'm so excited that you're excited to hear our thoughts. I hope you like spoilers because we'll get into them.
I'm sure Jordan. I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was going to say I'm sure Jordan is one of those people that don't care about spoilers. He's still going to watch the movie. You know, I have friends that are like that. You know,
my friend wanted me to tell him the movie on the drive home. I was like, "You don't want to watch?" He was like, "No, just tell me what happens." He likes to read the scripts and everything beforehand, and I'm just like that. First of all, I'm not reading a whole script, but also I'm not doing that before the
movie. For me, first of all, most anticipated movie, one of the most anticipated movies of the year for me. So I was super excited for this. I even left work early. I hope nobody at work is listening and watching this because I left work a little bit early to see this movie. Because I didn't want to go too late because I had to go to work the next day, and I know this movie was like 2 hours, so I was just like, let me just try to get like a good evening when I seen it like the 6 o'clock showing. And we seen it in IMAX, and it was a great fucking experience because I haven't seen a movie on IMAX in a long time. It is just a bigger screen, louder sound, but it added to the experience of this film. I don't know. I was just smiling from beginning to end. Even some of the cheesy moments, the Easter eggs, the corny lines, whatever. Like I loved it. I didn't give a fuck. So yeah, like especially coming off of Covenant, because I know a lot of people dislike that movie. I strongly like Covenant. regardless
yeah.
of the CGI and all that stuff. It's still a dope ass movie to me. So going into this, especially with Fede Alvarez directing it, and that's why I was even more excited, because Evil Dead 2013 is one of my faves, and I know that Fede don't really hold back when it comes to filming his own movies. But that is one of my issues with this film, because I feel like certain things were being held back. But outside of that, dope ass movie. I can't wait to see it again. It gave me everything I needed. I was at the edge of my seat. A lot of intense scenes, especially at the end. When we get there, listen, there's just a lot happening. So yeah, again, it made my movie of the year for me so far, because we still got the rest of the year for horror movies, but so far this is like my number one.
And September and October is like prime season for horror
Mm-hmm.
movies. So
Yeah,
I feel that. I gotta say, for a long time, The First Omen was my favorite horror movie of the
yeah.
year, and it still is.
Okay.
I
Okay.
do have to. I do
like
have to
this
say
setup.
that.
Yeah.
Going into the year, Alien Romulus was no competition. My most anticipated movie, not just horror movie, but movie.
Yeah.
It was the movie that like got me through the year. So I don't know what's gonna, what I'm gonna live for after this. But now that I've seen Alien Romulus, and I've seen it twice, both in the IMAX, I liked it. But I didn't. It's not my favorite movie of the year. I have some issues with it. I would still rate it really high. If anyone follows me on Letterboxd, you probably would have seen that I gave it 4 stars. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
But there are just like certain aspects that are keeping me from being like, oh, this is my personality. This is 100%. I'm all in. Like when Prey came out a few years ago. Prey was instant 5-star, one of my faves of the year. I was all in. And Alien Romulus didn't do that for me, but I did see it twice. So it's not like I hated it or even disliked it or even was indifferent to it.
Yeah.
But there are just some things where I'm like, I think it's like a lot of Alien movies, a flawed masterpiece.
Yeah.
This is gonna get juicy. All right. I'm ready.
So I'll kind of go first with something that I loved, and then I'll let you guys kind of say something that you guys loved about it. I fucking loved how Fede shot the xenomorphs. Like especially when it was just the one scorched xenomorph. There was one shot where the xenomorph was kind of like standing up when it first hatched, and there's like fog and it was red. I was like, holy shit, that is the horror equivalent of a superhero shot.
Yes. It was, I don't know if that's the same exact scene, but I think it was after not David Child. So I'm getting my androids confused. Andy was on the floor, and it was the shot. That's why I had to see this again. It was the shot of the xenomorph on his legs standing up, and you see the face just on the floor running wild. I was just like, that shot there.
I was like, just kill me now.
So good. Because you see this big ass like xenomorph, and then like the babe, like it just crawling, and the way it just was shot, it was just so dope. And I said, you know what, I have to give Fede first props, but I didn't expect anything less, because Fede know how to shoot a fucking movie. You know what I mean? Like we seen Don't Breathe, we seen Evil Dead. So yeah, but that shot, man, so good.
I agree. I like the shots. I liked seeing what would this be called? A cocoon of what a xenomorph.
That was the first time we see something like that, right?
And seeing how fast it would be, because it was 7 minutes, because it was 47 minutes when that loudspeaker lady or mother was like, okay, we're gonna explode, and then it was 40 minutes, and then the damn thing is basically hatching, and I was like, 7 minutes for this to be full grown, that's insane.
Yeah.
That was cool. I like the face huggers. I haven't really, not that I recall, seen them like swarm at people like that all together.
Yeah.
It was
It
their
was
movie,
just
low key. Like, if you think
Really?
of like, I know it was Andy, everybody says it's Andy's movie and stuff, but like outside of the xenomorph, like this is the first time we've seen a bunch of face huggers like take over, and they're like front and center. Especially that one scene, obviously, when they were like trying to be quiet and trying to keep their
Ooh.
like that was so tense. Even though it was one,
yes, say
you
it.
know what I'm talking about. I don't know. So so the face huggers, they all like creeping around, and then there's this one on the floor. It looked like somebody had a controller, and it was just like wheeling across the floor. And I'm just like, okay, it's moving kind of odd, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
We can do
It's okay.
cheese.
We can do cheese. It's fine. I'm not nitpicking. It was just funny to me. I bust out laughing because I like, it looked like it was literally on wheels and just scrolling across the floor.
It probably was.
Probably was.
Because they'd had a lot of practical effects on the in this film. So it probably was on wheels, like being controlled behind the camera by someone with a remote control. But I loved everything they did with the face huggers. Because like I don't think in the movies you ever seen the face huggers be like slow before.
Yes.
Mhm.
They've always been quick, which is scary, but like I don't think they've ever creeped like a spider, and they've always been spider-like.
Yeah.
And you know how like when like it's always when you're like taking a little poopy in the bathroom, or like you're about to hop in the shower and you see a spider in the corner and it's just
Oh
chilling.
yes, yes.
That there were moments with the face, and that to me it made it scary than the face huggers scarier.
Yeah.
When they were
That
just
moment
chilling.
when it's crawling across the ceiling to jump on the guy's face when he was falling down. Oh,
No, guys, like Aliens, the second movie, that's when, because we got the face hugger obviously in the first movie, but the second one was obviously more, we've seen a little bit more of them and how they work. Specifically, the scene I'm talking about is with Newt and Ripley being trapped in that room, and the face huggers is attacking them in there. And I was creeped out by that scene where it's like it's blinking red in that room, and they're backing up, and you see the face hugger crawling on the floor, running after them. That always freaked me out. So when I seen this trailer and we start seeing the face huggers, I said, "Oh no, this is gonna be too much."
A fucking glass.
Right. Aggressive much? Jeez.
Hi, Paul. Excited you're here. And yes, it is.
Speaking of that, gross. The fucking face huggers. I don't know what you would call it.
Wee wee.
Sure, that.
Thank
like
you,
all
Patrick.
in his trying to get his mouth. I was like, I can't. I can't.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong, but usually when we see face huggers and they latch onto somebody's face, and after they're done, like they fall off and die or whatever. In this one, they pried it off the girl, and it was still alive, but she was still impregnated. And I thought usually after they done doing what they do, they die. But this face hugger was still alive.
They used the cryo whatever to freeze its tail.
It.
So it was forced to the hugger couldn't feel its tail anymore because they were trying to pry it off and it was gonna choke. What's her name? And then I'm horrible. I saw the movie twice and I don't really know their names.
Yeah, I got 4 names up. Yeah, I'm horrible.
But the girlfriend of the cousin who's a dick.
Yeah.
Bjorn. I remembered his name.
Bjorn? Okay.
Bjorn. Yeah, the asshole.
Oh, yeah.
He did a great job.
So when they froze the tail of the face hugger, and that caused it to let go early instead of just like staying there and dying like it wanted to, and then they chased it away.
But I mean, I understand. I got that part, but I just wonder what it takes for it to, like, when it's finished, why does it die? In this case, obviously, it they did that, and exactly it got away. But like, I thought like once it's finished, that's when it dies. So clearly it was finished and it was still somewhat alive, even though it let go early. So I was just confused that, all right, so she's still impregnated by it. And even though it got off early, I don't know.
I
I'm
didn't
still
even
curious
pick
to
up
know
on that.
how all this works.
I think there's a little bit of play because in the original Alien, the face hugger is alive enough to hide in one of the pantries to give Sigourney a big ol' scare when it
Yeah.
just like
Mhm.
dies on top of her. So it's alive for a little bit of time, but then in like I think in Aliens, that's when they like die at the feet of the
Yeah.
people it bursted. And even in Alien Romulus, at one point Andy's like, it hasn't been mated with when they find Dora the Explorer. Um, um
Navarro. Thank Navarro.
Navarro.
Yeah, there we go.
Navarro. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. But Kay, who's played by the same actress who plays live action Dora, um, when she when they find her in like the alien cocoon wall, and Andy's like, "Oh, I don't think they hosted to her because there's no dead insect
Mm.
at the bottom."
Mhm.
So it's like,
Maybe it's just like creative choices. Like maybe it's
Yeah.
just Fede's vision. I was also wondering, okay, this is before Aliens, so and also they're in this. I don't know what the hell you call this. It's not a ship, but maybe because there was
it's like a
experimentation and
space
stuff going
station.
on there. So maybe they were working or experimenting on these as well, and
Mm.
they
Hmm.
perfected that. I don't know. And honestly, I didn't even pick up on that until you said it. that it didn't die. I was
Yeah.
so focused on what the hell was happening. It was just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. Because usually when they're dying, they just lie there on the floor backwards, dead. Well, upside down, dead. So yeah, it was just a call out that I seen. I was like, oh, okay. I like this though.
So I'm gonna eeny, meeny, miny, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you, what is an aspect of Alien Romulus that you loved?
Ooh, loved. I I'm actually going back and forth. I liked having a younger cast, which I don't think we have seen in this universe before. They felt like teenagers to me while watching it.
Mhm.
I like that it was kind of a
Yeah.
simple plot. We're trying to get the fuck out of here. We need to go up here, get this fucking cryo pod shit. And sail off into space for 9 years. It was a really simple plot, and it does feel like a Fede movie while watching it. You know, it's not a huge cast.
Mhm.
I just like the fresh feel of it. I was getting nostalgia, I was getting stuff I liked, and I was getting new information, like the cocoon, for example, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
the mutations and shit. That's what and I also enjoyed the theater experience, which y'all need to watch it in theaters. Don't wait until it gets home because it's not the
Yes.
same experience.
Yes.
This is a movie you need to watch in theaters all the way.
Especially if you're lucky to be in an area with like a premium screen, like an
Mhm.
IMAX or like a
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dolby even, or 4DX where you can actually get acid blood sprayed on you.
Yes.
Um,
You know what? I swear every acid scene I smelled something in the theater that smelled
that's
different though.
awesome.
So I wonder if they just did not like a bad
Whoa.
smell, but it was like a very pungent kind of smell. I wonder if that's what they did instead of spraying us when the acid came.
Or
And
maybe
I
they just
also
didn't
loved
clean their
Andy.
machines.
I didn't think I was gonna like him at first because I was like, okay, I need you to stand up for yourself because them Bjorn bothering him the first half of the
Mhm.
movie was irritating the shit out of me because I'm like, I get once or twice. But when Andy became Andy 2.0, I was feeling it. I was loving
Yeah.
everything about it. I was like, no, keep it in your head. Keep the chip in there. I don't care at all what's happening after that. Just do it. And I would have been okay if he was the only person surviving, quite frankly. Only the only
Thanks.
survivor. Because I thought his character was compelling enough to be like a final whatever, even though I liked the lead in it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I loved Andy. See, Patrick,
Oh,
see, yes.
so good.
It was something was burning or something.
Oh yes.
Well, that's good. So if it smells burnt,
I-
that's because that's technically burning. So yeah.
I've never done a 40X, so I imagine like when the one dude gets like the classic xenomorph second tongue death, like that someone like a theater employee goes up to you and boops you on the head when that happens, so you can feel.
Just imagine somebody just come out and go. Boop.
Yep.
Oh, the moment the chest burster was coming out, something poked me in my back from the sea. I remember that.
Oh, that's cool.
And then when the blood squirted on, I don't remember her name, Dora. Then water
it's
sprayed
Kay
on me.
in the movie, I'm pretty
Kay.
sure.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm horrible.
Was she
I'm sorry.
Spider Girl? Is that who? Paul?
It seems at least she's in a good movie. What was Spider Girl?
Is that? That's not Madame Web, is it? Because that's what I'm thinking of.
No, is that her?
I didn't see it, so
I don't
I don't
now
know.
I'm picturing in my head. Hold
Let
on.
me see.
Y'all keep talking. I'm looking.
Yeah, she's in Madam Web.
Whoa!
Mhm.
Good-
She looks
I
so
mean,
different in that.
okay.
Wow.
Okay, so I haven't seen that movie because I don't want to. But so I can't be a hater. I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna be a hater.
Okay, that is
But
fair.
I just whatever, it's fine.
Austin,
but I
I
didn't
think
know
you
she
should
was
watch
Dora.
it. Don't listen to the people. It's actually an enjoyable film with minimal
Oh, God.
powers. And
You're really struggling to
like-
get through this, Mike.
I liked it.
Mike is forcing
But we need a
himself to like
sequel.
it.
I liked it. We need a sequel. We need a second movie.
I don't think
That's
that's
all.
happening, babes. that movie did poorly.
Well, what did you guys love about it? Like
Alien
love
Romulus?
about the movie. Yeah.
Well, I already went. Bobby, it's your turn.
Same. Andy was definitely a favorite, much like Mike. I felt bad for him, and I was like, "You got to do something, my guy." But I get it because he was put there to only defend, Rain.
Rain.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he probably haven't had an upgrade in like I don't know how long. So,
Poor thing.
but later on when he got that chip in him and he started being a badass, I was like, oh, here we go. I love it. But at the same time, it's like, damn, why did it take for him to get a chip from a different android, putting him to act like that? I mean, I get it, but it's just like, damn, I wish he just had like a wake up call or some shit. But he's not human, so never mind. But Andy was great. That actor did an amazing job. He did an amazing job.
Mhm.
Again, the face huggers were great and creepy. I love the aspect of them going through that room and like trying to lower their body temperature and not getting goosebumps and any of that, just to have them react. I don't know if I would be able to do that because I would be freaking out just
Right.
seeing them like just moving and their leg. Ugh. I just can't. So they would have latched onto my face real quick.
I would have cussed him out too. When we got through that door, I would have cussed him out because you know where we are. You can answer this after the fact.
Mm-hmm. I also do like the characters, like Mike said too. But one thing that Fede does, he loves. I notice a relationship between like siblings, and pretty much Rain and Andy is like that. She looked at Andy as a brother, and I love their dynamic together, especially at the end of the movie. They looked out for each other, and he did that. Fede did that with obviously Evil Dead between Mia and David.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that Fede does that, and then he just gives us all the time a crazy ass ending. So whether there is a humanoid mixed with some demon or whatever the fuck it like in this movie here, he did that.
Was it not giving Resident Evil Endgame kind of? That's what it reminded me of. Like when she's about to fight the baby man, whatever you want to call him, and we hear the music and it's really dramatic. It felt like a Resident Evil boss to me at the end.
That's literally Evil Dead 2013 when the Abomination came out and he hit the choir like, ha, ha, ha.
And the literal raining blood.
Raining blood, this tall ass demon, like demon with Mia's face on it. Literally, like Fede loves shit like this. So when I seen this is like when I seen that monster, that baby thing, I was literally on the edge of my seat. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it looks like the engineers from Prometheus a little bit in the face. So that's why I was just like, I'm trying to make it make sense in my head. But
it's a mixture of everything's DNA.
Yes. Creepy. But overall,
I thought it was awesome.
No, it was great. But I just love everything about this movie. But my standouts for sure was just the dynamic between Rain and Andy, the face huggers, and then and then that the thing at the end. There's a lot of standout moments I'm sure we'll talk about, but those are like my main like things to go to that I love about this movie.
I do want to talk about, because you brought up like the sibling relationship between Andy and Rain. And you mentioned Fede's done this before. Evil Dead, it's Mia and David. And Don't Breathe, Rocky has her younger sister that she wants to take care of. And it's something that's apparent in all three of his films. And the film's called Alien Romulus. And they mention the Romulus and Remus myth like multiple times. And I think they kind of show like the she-wolf with the two brothers as like a plaque. So in case anyone watching or listening is not aware, Romulus and Remus is like Roman mythology. I was like, I think it's Roman. It is Roman mythology because it's like, how was Rome founded? So it wouldn't have been like Norse mythology. But anyways, I'm not like a big into Roman mythology, but like they were the sons of Mars and someone else, and they were like banished by the current king, but then they came back and they killed the current, and it's like Roman shit, but like it's like brothers. And the important part is Romulus kills Remus in a fit of rage when they're arguing about their two cities, and then Rome, which Romulus founded, became Rome. So it's very apparent in Alien Romulus because like there's a point in the film where Rain is planning on abandoning Andy once they get to their paradise planet. But then Andy makes that turn once he gets the science officer things, and it's like he's ready to sacrifice Rain at any second once given the chance. So it's like
loved it.
They're fighting. I don't think they're fighting, but they're button heads. For sure.
She's used to being in control. And he was in control, which is very interesting. And I didn't catch it till the second watch when Kay, which I love the Kay scene. There was a moment during Kay shit. She needs to be in more horror shit, by the way. There was a point I was like, is she gonna? I thought she was actually going to be the final girl in this. There was a point where it was giving me that kind of vibe, like maybe Rain won't even make it and she'll end up being the final girl in it, which would have been different. But
that would have been great.
She gets snatched up, and then Rain is like, I can't believe you did that. He's like, did what? Left somebody behind? I didn't catch it. He was basically saying, you were going to leave me behind, so what's the big deal? What's the problem? I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, you can't imagine. Like there was a cast to that. I'm gonna read some comments real quick.
How
gory is it?
It's
I wouldn't say not at all. I wouldn't say but on a scale, it depends on what you think is gory, I think.
Right.
Like it has some slimy scenes because it's an alien movie, but as far as gore,
it's tame compared to Evil Dead 2013.
Yes, and I think that's the problem. In the same way, I think there's a trap for Jordan Peele and M. Night Shyamalan with twists, and people are always expecting twists. I think people are going to always expect him to have Evil Dead level gore and blood, and I was expecting that. And then we were getting like articles saying like there's gonna be this crazy scene that you've never seen before in the movie. And I was like, what the fuck scene was that? Because I definitely feel like I've seen everything.
I think it was just
in
the
this and
character
other
of Kay.
movies.
She was like, there was a scene that everybody was like turning their hair or they got grossed out by. And at first I was thinking like what scene they were talking about, but I have a feeling it was the scene where obviously she was giving birth. Yeah, because it was kind of
Which
gross.
we've seen 3 times this year as
Yeah.
immaculate.
I just saw a
and
demon
the
hand
first
come
moment-
out.
Yeah. So, but it makes sense with like I'm going to be careful how I say it because I don't think it's trying to be political, but it's just we're in a political climate. Roe v. Wade being taken away, it makes sense that there are now 3 horror films depicting births. That's all I'm going to say about it. Because I'm not trying to dissect that.
3 demented children that needed to be destroyed immediately.
It's a trend you can't ignore, you know.
Right.
But how gory it is, I'd say it's on the same level as the original.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more just because it's 2024.
I would say even Covenant has a little bit more gore than this.
Oh, Covenant is much gory. I think 3 and Resurrection are gorier than this one.
Yeah, which is a surprise because I'm just like, again, you mentioned Fede, and I mean, this is an alien movie, so you kind of expect that.
Is this rated R?
It is.
Yeah. That was one of my issues with this movie too, is that I feel like the deaths in this could have been better. Like Bjorn, I was expecting like some next level, or not even next level shit, but just a good ass death for him. And I feel like it wasn't that great of a payoff for him to go, or even some of the other ones. I feel like the only one that had a great death, in my personal opinion, was Navarro. Hers was like brutal, but we've seen it before, obviously in other alien movies, but it was good. And I like how this one was filmed with Kay, like being by her side and experiencing all of that.
I'm gonna say I think in theory Kay had the best death, but we didn't really get to see much.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because I don't think Alien Romulus is trying to be gory, because Fede has proven he could do the gore.
Oh yeah.
I think it's trying to be more tense in a way the original Alien is, because the original Alien, the gore is really just a chest burster and then quick flashes of blood for other, and like in Dallas's death, he doesn't even, it's off screen, you know.
And I see where you're going. Like, it's like a love letter. It's still effective. Like, less is more. And again, we've seen other alien movies where we get the gore and all that. So with this one, that's why I said I was expecting it because, like you said, because of Fede. But at the same time, it didn't bother me. I just wish that we seen a little bit more. Just a little bit. You know
I
what I mean?
wanted more like maybe more chase, like more of a chase here and there. Or a little more action kind of scene versus like Navarro's death. I liked that it wasn't just like a chest burst. It was more like creeping out, and you heard the ribcage
all while the ship is going haywire.
Yes,
there's a lot going on too. That
move your foot off of this damn.
It was so much happening.
There is so much, and then Kay has this amazing scream. Where where Fede lets the music and the sound effects go away. All you hear is this like instant iconic horror scream. And then the music and the sound effects and everything comes back. It was
crazy. She woke up from a nap and that happened. Like, that's insane.
But imagine that. You wake up, you knocked out, and you wake up and you don't know what the fuck happened. And then you
okay, can I wake up now? Can I wake up now?
It's insane. And then it's also scary because, like, what if you do know these things are happening, right? But then you somehow get knocked out. You don't know if like a face hugger latched onto your face and impregnated you. So now I'm worried something's inside of me and I don't know.
And she didn't even know that. She would have been really confused if a face hugger got on her and then something erupted from it.
Because they're like going through and talking, and she's like, "What?" What are you guys talking about?
Mhm.
What's going on?"
It's kind of like
Like-
that scene in Alien Resurrection when they ran into that
Yeah.
random dude, and he was like, "Well, it's inside him." He's like, "What's inside of me?"
What's
What's
fucking
inside of me?
inside?
Yeah,
man?
And they still having a conversation. He's like,
It
"What
was-
the fuck is inside of me?"
Exactly.
Bjorn-
I love that. And
I agree. I wanted to see a
the-
fight between Bjorn a little bit. I was like, let him redeem himself a little bit before he
No.
dies.
I wanted
mean,
well, he died by little acid blood drips. And I was like, I could survive that. I probably couldn't, but I think I could.
But I wanted more than that. Like, I just wanted him to get it. Like,
Yeah, I wanted like Raiders of the Lost Ark, not like melted
Ooh.
Nazi head levels of acid blood. That's
I'm
what
here
I
for it.
wanted.
Yes.
I wanted like I wanted so much more, and it felt like I feel like acid blood would have been much gnarlier than it was in
Mhm.
this movie.
Yeah.
And
I
then
feel
the
like
only
more would
death
have been coming out of that sack cocoon
Mhm.
thing than little drops here and there.
Mhm,
Because
right.
even the little womb from what Paul called it, the baby later in the movie, it has a huge amount of acid in it.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would it
Would
when
y'all
it
do that?
comes out?
Like,
Do
take
what?
like if y'all seen like that cocoon, and you're like, while is it in there, I'm gonna just try to kill it, and you will take the thing and
No,
start
I would have been like, hey, we
poking
need
at
to
it.
just go. Why are we trying to no?
Because
Yeah,
in my
no,
head, I would
wouldn't
probably
have.
try to. All right, see, the thing is, in my head, I understand where he's coming from, because if you kill it, you don't have to worry about anything coming after you. If we just left, now I'm worrying about something's coming after me. So it's just like, I rather get rid of something before it actually has a chance to attack me. So I get what they were trying to do.
I guess.
But also, when the exposition robot tells us earlier, hey, this thing had acid for blood,
True.
and I would remember that. I would be
Yeah.
like, hey, maybe I should mind my fucking business and not mess
But
with
this
the
is
thing
Bjorn.
that has
He
the
wasn't
acid blood.
listening. He wasn't listening from the moment. The moment he was like, they were like, "What's going to come out of her?" And he's like, "That up there is." I'm listening to everything you have to say at that point. I have no reason to not believe you. So him, and this was the scene. Andy was really. I was like, okay, you're gonna have to snatch her up or something, because we're not bringing her on the shit. But I have to remember, these are younger people. It's not like some of the other casts where it's like they're scientists or they're like trained people to know, okay, this thing just shed, so and there's a cocoon, so it's going to be huge this time. Maybe he thought it was going to still be small, and so he could just electrocute it. But he's not a thinker; he just reacts. So
yeah, you have those people that just react and don't think about the consequences later.
which could be me. I don't know, but in that specific situation, I'm not attacking something. Like, I'm trying to get away, and that's not the only danger we have. We just crashed into another station.
Yeah,
There's a lot
true.
going on.
I don't know. I'd rather just kill the killer before it gets to me first. So I get it, but and then at this point they don't know about any of the other ones, so it's kind of like, oh, this is probably
I
the
didn't
only one.
either.
Let me get So going into this movie, in my head, I was hoping that this film, because they said it's obviously in between Alien and Aliens. So I was thinking, remember in Aliens, they talked about, well, they showed it a little bit in the regular version, but in the director's cut, we got a little bit of what the colony where Newt came from, what they experienced, and then how that got affected and how she ended up being the only one. I thought it was going to be set around that or led into that in this movie. I thought this was going to somehow lead into what happened with Newt and her people. Like, I thought one of them was going to survive, and come to find out, maybe Rain had a baby in her. The facehugger got her, and then she ends up going to this colony with the rest of them, and then it ends up being the colony that Newt was in, and that's when it leads into Aliens.
See, we're here. I like some connection in the movies, and knowing that this is between the other two. I was hoping at the end we were going to get some meats at the end to connect the two, just because I'm a geek like that and I want to see it. and I want to
Right.
see
Me too.
why,
I
like
was
what the
hoping.
connection is.
Until
Same.
they show me otherwise, I'm always just gonna assume David from Prometheus and Alien Covenant. He's just being a dastardly little devil, and he's just causing mischief in the background. So why
Yeah,
what caused
we don't
that
know what happened to
in
him.
Alien? I think it was David. Like
He's
Mm,
in charge of the
For-
company this whole time. He's
for
been in
every
charge of the company.
for every plot hole in between the Alien movies, I'm blaming David.
yeah.
I think he's just being a little bastard, and I love him.
He's smart. Because I was
It-
gagging at the
it's
end of
smart.
Covenant when I found out that they switched and it was David the whole time and not the other one. And I was like,
I'll tuck in the children.
mhm,
Oh,
Mm-mm.
I
what a
love
creep.
Covenant. I love Covenant. And yeah, the acid wasn't having it with him.
No,
I wanted
no.
the acid to not have it with him more.
Yes, but that shot when the alien
When it
hatches, when it falls down,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
music in the
Oh,
background,
that
the
was
yes.
lighting, and it's like his head is
Yeah.
shining, and
Mhm.
it was
Yes.
just.
that was
It
the
was
shit I
giving me
do like.
OG Alien. Like it
Yes.
was giving me back to the first movie how that was shot. I was just like, it took me right back to how scary the xenomorph can be.
Okay, this is gonna sound like a tangent, but I promise you it actually isn't. Have you guys seen Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when the first time Deadpool and Wolverine are about to fight, Deadpool like turns to the camera and is like, "Okay, nerds, take out your special stock." You
Oh, yeah.
know, it's no. That was this movie. Whenever Fede gave the xenomorph like a hero, or I should say, a
Mhm.
villain shot, like shots like that.
Mhm.
That was that's where I was like, "Where's my sock?" And there were so many of those shots. There were so many great
Yeah.
close-ups of like the xenomorph being like and
Yeah.
scary, and I love it.
I like that he made this. Well, I guess they're always thinking, but he was like making it known, like, oh no, the xenomorph is planning, it's plotting, it's setting traps. Like
Mhm.
it was waiting for them to let Kay in so it could kill all of them. But you can see it like slowly
Mhm.
creeping up.
But
to
we
her.
didn't know that until Andy said something because they were like, Andy, open
Yeah,
the
I
fucking
would've
door,
just-
let her in. And
I
I probably was like,
would've
yeah,
known.
open the door, Andy. What are you doing? Let her the fuck in. And he was like,
honestly,
no.
if I saw it, I probably would think twice about letting her in. Not necessarily thinking it's a trap, but thinking it could get in here, and that thing is huge. But
This gave me flashbacks to Covenant where, all right, so in Alien, these movies, the characters make dumbass decisions, right? And I
yeah.
remember
That's why
in
we love 'em.
Covenant, I literally was yelling. Like I was like Brenda in fucking Scary
Yeah.
Movie. When the Buster came out, the dude and the girls trying to get out, and that one girl wouldn't let her out. She had all of this time to let her out the
Yep.
damn, and she just sat there and kept her
she
in
was
there.
smart. She got the hell up out of there. It was like,
No, she wasn't.
dealing with it.
Because she was all
I
falling
got a
all over the
counterpoint,
fucking thing, and the thing got out anyway and got her the fuck out of here. Like
I got a counterpoint though, because in the original Alien, was Sigourney not right when she didn't want to let in Kane because of quarantine?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, buddy, but like I just saw alien creature come out of dude's back. I'm quarantining this area.
Yeah. And it was like that in
She came
Prometheus
in
too.
so
But like
that I can defend.
like still
I
She
get
wasn't
it,
moving
I
fast
get it,
enough.
but to bring it
Interesting,
back
you
to when
have-
the xenomorph. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was about to bring up a Scream 2 reference, which is not necessary. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I have to do my Jurassic Park reference, which is
Oh my
necessary. The scene where the xenomorph is setting that trap for Kay, and Andy's like, it's gonna come. Like, I'm not opening this door. The whole time I'm like, clever girl. Because that's what it was. That was the Velociraptor moment.
Yes, it was.
That's what that scene was, and I loved that. I'm doing a horrible time keeping up with these comments, by the way. I'm sorry, guys. That is the difference between you and damn. I think that's directed at me, Evan. Evan, what will I ever do to please you? Happy you're here, bud. Happy you're here. Hey, King.
man, what's
Hello. Hello. Hopefully, this is just as unhinged as the March Madness bracket we did a few months ago.
Oh,
I'm having so much fun right now. And that backburster killed my girl, Carmen Ejogo.
It got her out of here. It was tearing her face up.
Yep.
But I mean,
I love that scene in Covenant.
I do too.
Two people slip on blood. That is iconic. That is Ridley
And the
Scott
music
being
in
one of the
that
best
one,
yes.
the score in that film is so good as well. So good. You make me want to watch now. Like, because I remember because I never seen anything like it. So when it came out the back, because we always expect it to come out the front. So when it came out the back, I was just like, oh my gosh. And then the way that was a xenomorph, right? Like a baby xenomorph. Because I know it was like a neomorph. There's like different versions of it. And
the backburster was a neomorph.
A neomorph? Okay, see.
It was like the white one.
Okay. Oh yeah, it was a white one. But this one was on his legs and how it was moving super quick. And it was like an animal, like a wild animal, like attacking something. Fucking aggressive. Like,
yes. Yes. Do we like the rolling donut shot of Prometheus? I love Prometheus.
Isn't that what old girl got smashed?
Yeah.
Furiosa.
They make her seem so smart in that movie. So I'm like,
well,
why? Maybe in the moment you're just not thinking, I guess.
Yeah.
She was such a good character because, like, my favorite part in Prometheus is when Idris Elba is like basically to her face being like, so are you a robot? And she's like, my room, sex, 10 minutes. And I'm like, hot people deserve to be together. I love this movie. What else happened in Prometheus? That's all I could. No, I'm kidding. I love that movie.
It's really good. I strongly. It bothers me when people say how like they don't really care for that movie. Yes, the evil queen got smashed by that big dumb.
Yes,
iconic.
He did play the evil. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
But yeah, Prometheus is one of those movies that it's still one of my favorites. I don't really find any of the Alien movies really bad, except for Alien vs. Predator 2, if you're going to count that one. But Resurrection is okay. I like it, but I have a good time watching all of them, every single one of them.
It's always time for an entire franchise rewatch.
Yes, Tamon, what is wrong?
Always
do it right now. Right now. What is you got plenty of time.
Do it now. Oh, wait, that's Predator. I'm referencing the wrong franchise. I'm here, kill me, do it now.
I
just need to know one thing. Where they are.
Oh god.
I'm surprised that wasn't quoted in Romulus.
I mean,
where was Winona Ryder? She was in Resurrection, but she can stay there.
Money. No, she's getting that Beetlejuice money. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where she was.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Yeah.
What if we hear Andy say that? That would have been hilarious.
I'm not a hater. I'm not going to be a hater, but I did not care for when he was like, "Get away from her,
you bitch."
You bitch. It was first off, it was like a year between the two halves of the line.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the delivery. And an otherwise perfect performance from David Johnson as Andy.
Okay. So that's
good. But
so I
didn't like that delivery.
Okay.
And I didn't like the usage of that line in that moment because you save that line for a queen. You save it for a queen. That was just the equivalent of the AVP grid alien.
Yeah.
And you know, they established that Andy tells a bunch of dad jokes. That would have been perfect for the corniest, cheesiest line. But
Yeah.
instead, you give me recycles. You give me
Yeah.
sloppy seconds where he could have like landed on the alien after just blowing it to bits and being like, "Psh, oh shoot." Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
just as stupid, but it would have been funny and more in character.
Yeah. I think this was just Fede, like, maybe it wasn't him too. I know it was Rodo Sai. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sorry.
I
But
think
they
he
both
co-wrote,
he
yeah.
co-wrote them too, because they obviously worked on Evil Dead and Don't Breathe to get together
Yeah,
as
they've
well.
been a while.
They're a team. But I get it. It's like a fan, and you like, I want to put in my favorite parts. I just don't know where. So let's just put it here. It's like I get it. When I watched that and I see him deliver that line, I laughed, but I also got my life. Like, I see, you know what? This is fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay, because everything else in the movie was fine. And I didn't like, if the movie was like just shitty overall and then he delivered that line, I'm like, all right, turn this shit off. Like, I'm leaving, like,
Right.
whatever. But I think I was having such a good time with this movie. So when that part did come up, I was just such in a moment where it didn't really bother me that much. Yeah, the delivery was a little weird, but that's just how Andy was before the chip. Like, he was always very soft spoken and didn't, you know,
Now it's
say
just
his
his
words.
chip again. So that's
Yeah.
just how he is.
Mm-hmm.
I was too tense from everything going on to even care if it was cheesy, but I didn't really care that much because
Yeah.
I don't really know what else he would say.
Yeah.
I don't even think Rain got like this. She got, it's like, just fucking die or whatever the hell she said to the thing in the end, but it wasn't
they
like
got
a huge
die,
line.
motherfucker. I thought that was awesome. If he said die, motherfucker, that would have been. I would have liked that.
No,
I would have liked that a little
not from
more.
him.
Or you know what? If you want to put in an aliens line, he could have been like, game over.
Oh.
That's it. I'm
I
trying now. I'm
mean,
trying to think of
That one's a
alien
stretch
quote.
too, but that one actually, that probably would have made me groan too. But I thought there was a lot of great callbacks, because there's a moment where Bajorn's being a dick to him. It's like, which moment, right? And no, he calls Andy a fake person, and Andy's like, I do prefer the term artificial person myself.
Bishop, right?
And
yes.
yeah, and that's when Bishop
Mm-hmm.
like Bishop says that too, and I love that, because it's like a perfect moment to use that line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not get away from her, you bitch, or game over, man, game over, or like the ones that people always use. That one's more of a deep cut, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a good character moment. It made sense in that moment, so I like that.
Yeah.
And I still went, did the Leo point? So
yeah.
and because I'm human, I do like my callbacks. It was just that particular one when they did we haven't talked about, Disney resurrecting Ian Holm to replay Ash. We kind of avoided that, but when he said you have my sympathies, I'm like,
he was a shady bitch.
I can't say that
he was shady in the first movie.
I can't say that your chances are good.
He was shady as shit in the first movie. So like, so another thing. So this obviously is not the same Android. Like, this obviously is, they CGI his face on here. So is this supposed to be like another version of Ash? Like,
I think
different,
it's kind of like,
because it can be Ash. Because remember they set him on fire.
Ash.
Yeah, I was about to say
it's like a model, maybe.
Yeah, like a different model.
Like the same, because like David and Walter, they're different models, but they're similar.
Similar, yeah.
So maybe they're of like the same wave.
Yeah.
Probably.
I would prefer that movies not, recreate dead people. For the sake of fan service, I would rather we don't do that, but It is. They did
It depends on how well
it's
it's used, though, because
I don't think it's ever used well. That's the thing.
Wrong. Halloween
You're about
Kills,
to bring-
Dr. Loomis.
I knew you were about to bring that up.
Nobody's going to tell me that.
I thought that was.
Them bringing
I was like,
back
I know
Dr.
that's him. I know that's him. It was him.
That looks just like him, and they didn't use CGI. They used somebody that looked similar to him, and they just put makeup and prosthetics on him to give him that enhanced look. Like
And
Dr.
he was
Loomis.
only there for 5 seconds.
And it was a flashback, which was great. I was fine
That's
with
fine.
it. Perfect.
That's
Nobody
fine. That's
complained
different,
about
though.
that.
No, because it like was 10 seconds at the very most. This was a whole like
A whole
supporting
scene.
character, the main antagonist that wasn't
Yes.
the aliens.
And they showed him so many times. I'm like, it would have
Yeah.
been cool if they did like flashes, or maybe we could just hear his voice,
Mm.
maybe see the back of his head or something. Like they didn't have to. Because I looked at the CGI, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is rough. This
When
is
they
rough.
showed John Hurt's picture,
Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
cool with that. That's
Mhm.
different.
yeah,
You know, I would have much rather they bring back Lance Henriksen. I have
Yeah.
no problem with de-aging
yeah,
because the actor can consent to that. You can't consent when you're dead.
yeah. Well, I heard
know?
they did X his family. They were just like, they got his family blessing in order to allow this to happen in the movie, apparently. So,
And
but like you said, I would rather
yeah,
still do somebody alive, or just if they're gonna do it, just maybe just do the voice. Have
or
somebody that
like
sound
maybe
like
don't
them.
do it as long, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would have much rather they bring back Lance Henriksen. I love
Mhm.
Bishop, or it could have been cool to see an evil Bishop for a change.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know who's still lurking around? That pesky little bastard David. I'm always here to
He
see
does. He
David.
does need to be in the next movie. We need to see him come back.
They had the Prometheus juice. You might as well.
Everybody's online saying how they
Yes.
want like the David trill, like to be like, we need the other David movie, and it's like,
he is
yeah,
in charge
but
of Wayne Yutani. I'm telling you, somehow he is
Mhm.
in charge.
Or you know who is in Evil Dead 2013? Jane Levy.
Jane Levy.
Jane Levy? Yeah, Jane
I think
Levy.
Levy,
Don't
yeah.
breathe. Jane Levy. You know who should have went 3 for 3? The Fede Alvarez Jane Levy collaboration. I think she would have been an awesome evil android.
Oh yeah, I mean, she was great as a Deadite, so I can see her. Now you putting
And we
that in my
haven't had a
head. She would be
girl.
dope as
We
an
haven't had a-
android.
We haven't
I
had
guess
a
the
female
question-
android yet
Yeah,
in the Alien
So-
franchise.
We really didn't need that Ash like character. It was really just fan
No.
service. We didn't need because
Yeah.
it's not. It would have been different if it was supposed to be the same exact android, which wouldn't make sense.
right.
But
Mhm.
since it wasn't, it could have just been any android.
Mhm.
But I mean, it was. Did it ruin the movie for me? No.
Nah, I got over it pretty quick.
But they did keep
Yeah.
showing his face, but and I was like, ooh, but maybe just have his voice on the like PA system,
Yeah,
speaking to them throughout the rest of the movie versus showing him to us.
showing them. Yeah,
But
like they could have just kept
yeah.
him on the floor dead with his face covered. They used his chip, and then when they brought him back, somehow they could have just did the whole, like you said, the voice on the PA system rather
Mhm.
than bring him alive and have him speak and stuff. And I mean, it is fan service. But question to y'all, because a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of people online saying like, "Oh, the fan service is kind of what messed the film up for them." Did that play a big part for you guys? Because fan service in films don't really bother me that much because this movie is mostly for fans. Clearly, even if they didn't have any of the fan service in it, if this was just like a regular alien movie, I still feel like people will find ways to complain regardless. Like look at
Oh, of
Prometheus,
course.
look at Covenant.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like look at
I've been
those.
Covenant truther since day one.
Yeah.
I've been ride or die for Covenant since it came out. I saw that opening night. I wasn't even in the United States of fucking America. I was on a study abroad trip. I was in London, and I still saw
Ooh.
Alien Covenant opening night. Because no
Nice.
matter where I'm at in the world, I
You're
will
gonna see
show
Covenant.
up for Alien. Yeah, I will show up for Alien. That is a motherfucking promise. And so
Did the fan service
But
no.
yeah, answer your question. Well, I'll answer it by telling you how I kind of felt through the story. When I was watching the movie, I was sitting at like I was like I'm trying to think of how I want to say it. I don't
Not
think it's fair to
enthused at
say
all?
Alien. Well, I don't think it's fair to say it's only fan service because I've seen
Yeah.
those criticisms on Twitter too, and I don't think
Mhm.
that's fair. There's a lot of fan service in it, but I do think there's an interesting theme to a couple interesting themes going on. They're not necessarily explicit,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but it reminds me of the original Alien and of Aliens, in which both of those films have a lot of themes, have a lot of stuff going on, but they work as a dumb horror movie or a dumb action movie if you choose to
Mhm.
watch them that way.
Right.
Right.
And with Alien Romulus, I like we were talking about like Romulus and Remus, the myth, and like the sibling dynamics and how it's doing that. I think Alien Romulus continues the whole Alien franchise like theme of fuck big corporations. Ironically, this one being released by the biggest entertainment corporation at the moment. Which I think is kind of funny. But
Yeah.
like, and I think there's a really, really interesting theme in this movie or concept, which I think Fede explores in Evil Dead and Don't Breathe as well, because I think it's something that affects him. Um, Alien Romulus is about a group of young people who see their future. They are going to die poor, doing a horrible job they don't want to do. Doing for
Yeah.
a company that treats them as a number, not as people.
Mhm.
So they are trying to escape to a better life. And you can read this as maybe someone who grows up in not a good neighborhood, but they want to go to college. Or maybe someone living in Mexico and they know their life would be so much better if they lived in California,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Just young people with a dream trying to make their lives better. And in Evil Dead, it's the Deadite. In Don't Breathe, it's Stephen Lang. In Alien Romulus, it's the xenomorph representing the like systems of oppression that keep people from moving on to a better economic status or a better life. And I
Mhm.
think Alien Romulus
Yes.
is about yeah.
To that point in the beginning, when she thought she saved up enough, I don't know, credits or points, whatever, to
Right.
leave, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh no, you're going to need double that, so you'll have enough in 5 to 6 years." That just shows.
Right.
That just shows how fucked up that company actually is. Because,
Mhm.
and then you could see how their parents have lived that way their entire lives because it's just they're trying to get forward and they just can't. And I mean, what do you
Right.
do in that situation? You're like on a fucking
Yeah.
planet somewhere with no sun. I'm wondering what the hell they're eating, honestly, when they said there's no sun.
It's probably like orange juice and toothpaste.
Ugh.
Well, I love orange juice, but
That's what I
yeah,
was
not
just
with
drinking.
But not with toothpaste.
yeah.
or,
I
or like astronaut food. You remember how it's like that paste or whatever?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Or something
that's
like
probably
freeze dried shit. 'Cause I know
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
freeze dried stuff.
I
They
Well,
ain't
funny
eating
thing
good.
is, I went to I was in the store and they had this astronaut freeze dry ice cream sandwich. So I said, let me just try this. If this was the
Mhm.
astronaut sandwich. And it was expensive as fuck because it's freeze dried, but I still ate it. And it tastes like nothing. Like the chocolate part tastes like a graham cracker, like a chocolate graham cracker, but the white part that's supposed to be like the ice cream, nothing. Like it was just blah. So I'm just like, how do people enjoy this? It has no taste.
maybe it's to just be like, you need this for nourishment, and that's it. We don't want this
That's
to taste
it.
too good, so you keep eating them while you're in space. So
Well,
you're just gonna
food.
eat this for nourishment. Uh, you said fan service. I think there's some fan service in it. I think this movie does a good job of like balancing keeping fans of the franchise interested, but also bringing in people who probably have not watched Alien movies before, because it in a way kind of starts it up again, the whole franchise, because you could watch this and not have seen the other ones and just be completely fine.
Exactly.
It's so true. I had a friend in my group of friends that went to go see it. She had never seen an Alien movie, and she liked it. So.
Same thing with my partner. Like that's why he's going back now and watching the other ones, because even though he didn't really remember AVP2, that don't count. That don't count. But like we went back and watched Alien Resurrection, Aliens, and
Alien 3.
He didn't watch that part yet.
Save that one for last. The best for last.
That's not the best one. But yes, if anybody new was to go in and to watch this, like I hope that they do go back and it makes them want to go back and watch like the OGs, like the originals, and maybe they'll find appreciation for it, especially with this one being like a much younger cast and them being probably familiar with some of these people that's been in like the stuff that they're probably watching. Hopefully is something that they will go back and watch with, to see where all this came from. Yeah.
I like that. I am going to shout out some of the comments real quick because I've been a bad host. I haven't been doing that. So I think this is the one I last did. That was my favorite one. Taman, you said that
Which
at
one?
8:54. I don't know what you were talking about. I'm sorry.
Because he mentioned when
about Alien vs Predator.
That was the one. I've been slacking.
It was one of the
I've been
movies around there.
slacking.
No, I think he was talking about the one with Winona.
Oh, Resurrection.
Yeah.
I respect that. Isn't Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom has the same problem like AVP2 overlooking 2? I don't think so. Because there's a lot of daytime scenes.
Which one?
I like Fallen Kingdom. It's the one that the first half is just the Lost World and the second half is a haunted dinosaur house movie.
Oh no, that's the one where is that the Brachiosaurus? You see it dying in the background.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That's the emotional damage one.
Horrible.
I thought that movie looked great. I don't think it looked too dark, but maybe some people do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he had just heard Bjorn use bitch earlier. I liked it. It was like a little kid. Okay, I know what this is for.
It was. Because it was how he was saying it, like, get away from her.
Yeah.
Bitch. Like, he was afraid to say it.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Patrick. I think, thank you for saying that, because that makes me kind of appreciate that a lot more. Not the iconic line, I'm going to eat you with my little mouth too. I quote that all the time from the original Alien. So that's my favorite line. I have it on a shirt somewhere. Evan, you kill me.
Tupac hologram.
Tupac. Oh, that's probably when we were talking about the Ian Holm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would have loved to see Jane Levy as Rain. Not bad.
She would have done well.
Yeah, she would have did great. But something different, like you said, Austin, with her being an android, like something that's a little opposite than what she's used to playing. I think she would have killed either role, but that would have been more interesting for her to play.
And I do think she would look older than the rest of the cast because she is like 30. Had this movie been made 10 years ago, I completely agree. But if we're doing like the cast of young 20-somethings,
I think she can pass.
She could probably pass, actually. Let's be
like
real.
25, 26, maybe.
Nah, yeah, Patrick, I think you're right. Let's be real. But because she would have played the same role basically in Don't Breathe.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I still would like to see her as Rook.
Yeah. I think in my head I'm just picturing her with a gun and shooting aliens, and I'm like, yeah, she would do well. And
She would. I mean, Jane Levy's fucking awesome. She'd be great as Rain. She'd be great as Rook. She'd be great as a Xenomorph. She'd probably be great as Andy. Like she'd
be great as the babies, the baby thing that came out with.
Yeah.
Oh.
That woman has range.
She does.
Is so talented. She is so talented. So she could have done it all.
I will say I appreciated how smart the Rain character was in this movie. She at every point in turn was thinking about something to do, which reminded me of Ripley a little bit. Well, not even just Ripley. It reminded me of Shaw also, which I hate. Shaw died in the other movie, but whatever. So I appreciated that they're like giving me something. I know she's grown, but she reminds me of like she's 13, 14 years old. So I was trying to wrap my mind to I was like, this seems like a kid about to fight xenomorphs, which I'm okay with.
Great final girl. Because I thought about Ripley too, obviously a callback to Alien when she got inside the suit. That was a cool callback. And then also another scene I loved with her in it was when they were floating and you got the acid blood around. And she's like, okay, this shit is about to hit me and I don't know where to go. So she used the gun and the force of the gun when she blew it to force her back down to dodge. I wouldn't have thought about that. I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to get fucked up. I'm dead. So
I wouldn't even thought of the gravity shit. I would have just been there shooting and dying.
Exactly.
She was awesome.
She's great.
Great character, great actress playing her. Yeah. So how does it tie into the other films?
Jordan, you trying to get all the information from
right?
Alien Romulus is a direct sequel to Alien, and it's a prequel to Aliens. It's in between the two. It also has a plot element from Prometheus. You could say it borrows a scene from Alien Resurrection. It kind of
yes, I was thinking.
Oh yeah.
It kind of has a similar setup to Alien 3, but instead of like Alien 3 taking place on like a prison world, this is essentially a prison world, but everything is like they're minors, but they can't escape really, so they're essentially prisoners to the company. So it has that kind of Alien 3 vibe to that as well. It has a lot of all the aliens in it, but mostly it ties it as a direct sequel to Alien and a prequel to Aliens. And while we're talking about callbacks to other Alien movies, the second time I saw the film, I just stayed for the whole credits because I just wanted to, just see everything. And I noticed that it had the same Richard Wagner like opera piece that played at the beginning and end of Alien Covenant. I watched that film twice and I didn't catch it. And I'm pretty knowledgeable about classical music. I was a marching band nerd, so I know my Wagner.
Right.
And I know that piece because I've seen Alien Covenant at least 7 times since it came out. Probably 10 if we're being real. Probably 10 times. So I know that piece and I know that movie. And I'm like, I got to see it again because I'm like, where did that piece play? Because I didn't hear it either time.
I Googled to see if there was an end credit scene and they said no, I left. So I just knew there was going to be another scene. I just knew there was going to be one.
I wish it was.
I'm glad there wasn't because like that's not an Alien thing.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
But it's not. But they still could have. I don't know. Like I'm still a little salty of hoping that there was a tie-in. To
show me Rain. She's in the facility Ripley came to when she was found in Aliens, and she just had some random ass job. It's just something I wanted to see.
All right, no, that's crazy. I'm good.
No, what's crazier? I was like, this could be Vasquez's mother. I was trying to make all these connections in my head.
Well, I think this movie is going to do well, so we're going to get an Alien Remus. So,
okay.
There's still time with yes, with David and Jane Levy as a robot.
And I want to see Andy come back. We're not going to shove my guy.
Yeah,
He was a
Rain and
great.
Andy. Rain and
Yes,
Andy. We want him
we need
back.
to see them back.
Is it time we bring back the Queen?
Yes, I like the Queen Xenomorph a lot. She's dope. She's actually on
Or
good.
do we make an alien king?
Oh,
I'm just trying to think of new things.
I
Yeah.
think for me with this franchise in general, I think after the Queen, the like big bads at the end have not really been hitting for me since the Queen. So like I'm thinking Resurrection and the baby head man or whatever.
The newborn.
Yes, the newborn, and then this newborn, and it's giving me Resident Evil every time at this point now, if it's not just a regular alien that they're fighting at the end. So I'm trying to think where they could go that it wouldn't be like I liked it. I like the big bads they have, but they're not. I don't know. I don't even know what it is I want, but I want it to be more alien-esque. I do know that. So it may, even if it is a queen, cool. If not, I wanted something. Maybe there's another. You saying king? I would be okay with that actually, just because it's something different. But
yeah,
like,
that's why
directly related to something that we know from early on.
But
how many
I want to know.
experiments we're going to see, child? How many experiments? I thought the girl was going to turn into some monster, and she was going to fight her.
Me too. I thought she was. That reminded me of Resident Evil. I thought like she injected the fucking T virus or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and then she's just going to start like turning into something. But
that makes sense because like in Prometheus, they could turn into the zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And they have when they get the Prometheus juice or whatever. I watched Prometheus like 3 weeks ago and I don't remember. But
but you said something about the Queen. So let's go back to a conversation like me and Mike had when we were talking about Alien 3 when we covered that. Because I remember when Ripley confronted the xenomorph and it wouldn't kill her because she had one in her, but it was a queen inside of her. And she said it. Ripley was like, it's a queen one that's I'm a birth. How do you know what determines what makes the xenomorph a queen? You know what I mean? Yeah, big forehead. So that's the big forehead. So it's gonna be a queen. So like a queen is just born. They're just born. They're not made into.
If you're in a queen, you're gonna be a queen. And Sigourney Weaver's a queen.
Is a queen. So who created the queen in Aliens? The one that she was battling.
Another one. I'm thinking it's almost like Jurassic Park. Life will find a way. If a queen dies, in order for because this is the perfect organism, another queen is just going to be birthed at some point and carry it on.
As someone who hasn't talked about biology since like sophomore biology class in high school, years ago, I remember like bees, like I believe like the xenomorph, like at least when they were making Aliens, they kind of based the xenomorph social structure on bees. So the queen, and then like they have the drones, and then the warriors or whatever. I don't know how bee society works. It's been years since I've seen the Bee movie, but I do know that like queens happen.
Yeah.
I did not go to school for science.
They're like, you're going to be the queen. I don't know. And we're just going to listen to everything.
They hold them up.
Yeah.
There has to be some. They know. Okay, I don't know how they know.
Or when they're born with something different, where they just be like, "All right, that's the queen because she's born with something, different than all the rest of them."
So, do we know if there are any genders to any of the other aliens? Like, is the queen the only female xenomorph?
I think so because she's the only one that can lay the eggs, and then that's what brings the face huggers. So she's the only one that can do that.
I don't know how else Ripley would know that. I don't have an answer to that.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about.
And it looked regular when it popped out of her in the end. So I really don't know how she knew it was a queen.
Well, Another question: how did the queen get all? I'm sorry, because I'm thinking of aliens, and I'm trying to find like, oh, that would have been a cool tie-in to this. Like again, maybe if Rain had a
The next
queen
movie
inside,
will tie in, Bobby.
it will. I need it to tie in like
Yeah.
right now. I need a deleted scene. I need an alternate ending. I need something, you know, because like I'm thinking about all these ideas. When I watch these movies, I think of like, all right, maybe this could have been done this way, or this could have been done this way, and I'm thinking like, all right, if Rain was at this college, you know, she had one inside of her this whole time, she probably could have birthed the alien queen that Sigourney was fighting in the second movie. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking of all these things that could have happened possibly now that we have a middle movie, because she's a queen, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I need a tie-in, and I'm gonna
You know
keep
what I
bitching
personally would
about it.
do, and what I personally would do, and please don't take this as an attack, Bobby, because it kind of ignores your requests.
It's
But
fine.
because I like Rain as a character in Andy,
Mhm.
if I were to make Alien Remus, I would have them lost in space for hundreds of years. So when they come back after resurrection.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
So, did
And
she
then
run into
maybe
Clone Ripley? Did she run
yeah,
into Ripley?
Resurrection, I never just connect. I don't know. I don't like, even though I like the movie, I just don't think it's canon. Like I just like,
well, that's because
it's
nothing else really acknowledges it, and it's
the
a
movie is so out there.
fun
It's just,
movie. It's a
yeah,
fun movie.
it is
It's
fun.
just
It is fun.
200 years later. That's all. It's not a big difference.
It's not
Brad
even
Dourif
that. Like
is
when
in
I was
it.
rewatching it,
Ron
it was just like
Perlman
the
is
dialogue, and it was just like when she's talking, she's like, "And I'm its mother." I'm just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I just like this don't seem like the same. And I know she's a clone. I get it. It has some good scenes in it, some good moments. Sigourney, she's the best. But it's just certain dialogue in there. I'm just like, I was not feeling.
You know what? I guess she's not the same Ripley. Now that you mention that, but
It was different variations. Because remember, she was in that room and she seen different clones of her that was like disfigured.
Yeah,
You know,
that was a really like good scene
it was.
in a movie that probably didn't deserve that good of a scene.
Yeah,
And I like Resurrection, but like
Yeah.
that movie was like could have been in the original Alien good.
yeah.
Is what I'm saying. And there's a very big difference between Alien and Resurrection. And I like Resurrection. Like I like Resurrection more than I like most movies.
Mm-hmm.
But Alien is, I know, still 2 leagues. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for entertainment,
Yeah.
I will definitely put on. I will say this, even though Alien is obviously number 1 above Resurrection, I would say for entertainment purposes, I'll probably put on Resurrection more just because it's a lot more action, a lot more going on, much like Aliens. It's more fast paced. So if I was to watch that with friends or something, obviously I would put that on because it's a lot. It gets to the point. Alien is a little bit of a slow burn. So I wouldn't obviously recommend. I mean, I would recommend it, but for if somebody would like, I want to watch something that's just gonna wow me or have a good time and entertain me, I'll put those on, you know. And then I would suggest them to go back to Alien if you can sit through it and pay attention.
I'm gonna go through these comments real quick.
Mhm.
Gravity acid scene was uncomfortable to watch. Like my face was afraid to watch to see
Yes.
Rain's face burn in space. That scene was so good. I
I
love
would
that.
have cracked up if she got burnt by that accident.
I kind of want to go see it in IMAX again just for that. No, for other moments too, but
For that scene.
that's
I would like to see
why
that
you
in
go to the
3D.
movies.
I don't really
Oh.
like 3D movies, but I would just like to see that scene in 3D. Just to see this shit coming at you, you know?
Oh, quiet, please.
Oh, the last battle of Fallen Kingdoms Dark. Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I thought you meant like the whole movie. I'm like, no, not the whole movie, but yeah. Okay. I can get
the
with
raptor
that.
that smiles. Is that that one?
Is this
Or
Kaylee Spaney we're talking about? The Craft
Yeah,
Legacy?
I don't remember that
She
movie
looks
too much
different
anymore.
in every movie. I didn't realize that was her. She was in Civil War and The Craft Legacy.
And Pacific Rim Uprising.
I barely remember anybody from the Craft Legacy, honestly.
I didn't
see
see
that
the
movie
Craft
once,
Legacy.
and that was
Good
it.
for her.
Yeah.
We stand a queen. I mean, Rain already got a workout from Civil War, so she's a little
Yeah.
going from I think it's that's funny, going from shooting pics to shooting xenomorphs.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, no, you're right. She is a little buff in Alien Romulus. I
Yeah.
didn't see
Get that
Civil War,
workout
so
in.
I'm just gonna take your word for it. I mean, action star, let's go. I thought she became the queen. I don't remember what we were talking about. Sorry. Sorry,
This is
Tamon.
Bobby's question. I know it's related to that.
AVP 3 game, you play as alien named 6, but at the end of the story, somehow you turn into a queen. Sometimes we just got it in us.
Maybe it's a Slayer
Sometimes.
thing. If the queen dies, another one, you're chosen somehow.
Maybe
Oh,
you're
they
born with
did.
it. Maybe it's Mabel Queen.
Maybe, yes.
Thank you. I'm gonna assume that was just for the joke I just said. Ripley 8.
Ripley 8.
Oh, okay. So
She's
she
the
was the
8th
8th
clone.
clone. So
Okay.
Alien Romulus. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen A Quiet Place Day 1 yet.
No, like certain scenes, yes, in the movie, you have to be quiet in order, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's like a quiet place.
No, A Quiet Day. No, that was
Yeah.
not as intense as this was. This one, I
No.
was just like, okay, the tension has to alleviate at some point
Yeah.
in this movie, and this got way more.
I missed it. I missed this one. I didn't get a chance to see it.
You can wait.
Cool. I like Lupita. I heard she was good, but I'm not a fan of the Quiet Place movies, which is weird because they're alien monster movies, and I love alien monster movies. I just didn't care for the first one, and then I saw the second one, and I didn't care for that one more.
Oh wow!
So I didn't feel the need to see this one. So
I wonder if you. Wait, I don't even know if you like M. Night Shyamalan. I wonder if
I
you would
love
like
M. Night Shyamalan.
Because he takes like plots that could be turned into these huge, massive movies, but he condenses it down. And
well, I
makes it
love
seem
Signs.
Yes.
So I wonder how
he was done.
Maybe I just don't like John Krasinski as a director.
Maybe.
It might be,
and I don't think,
or at least at this point. Yeah, I know he didn't direct the new one, but Twice Bitten. I'm not going to see the third one. We are going to find Ripley in a tube, a teenage clone hybrid queen. Okay.
Teenage Ripley? No, I need Sigourney Weaver.
Do we mean Rain?
You know, Sigourney is not coming back. Sigourney's like, I'm not doing these movies anymore.
She could. Sigourney's currently playing like a 10-year-old in the Avatar movies, so she could come back.
What if she comes back as the next clone android? It's modeled after Ripley.
She don't want to though. She was like, I'm done with these movies. But then again, Jamie Lee Curtis said that about Halloween, and she came back like 5 times. So
exactly. What if Jamie Lee Curtis was
the first android screaming in the movie?
Right? Yeah. I would be cracking up.
Oh my goodness! Yes, she was, and I didn't remember it until I saw it I was scrolling through Twitter, and people were like, "Not the first time she fought space monster." I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So yeah, I saw Pacific Rim 2 in theaters, and I haven't thought about it until I saw that tweet. So, John Boyega was in that movie. I'm pretty sure of that. I like him.
Oh.
But
I do like John Boyega.
Yeah. That movie, it happened.
It did happen. What did y'all think about? Do you think we're going to get more of this Prometheus goo storyline whenever they make the next movie?
If God is good,
because I'm wondering. Yes. Because if this is before Aliens, and obviously we are not really hearing about this in other movies, so I'm wondering if something happened to where that was just put to a stop or what.
I have no clue what they're doing. This is all speculation. But I think they're going to establish like not a second timeline, but like a B plot line. So there's the A Ripley plot line and the B Rain plot line.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
And then there might be like a C another character plot line at some point. I think they're just going to expand the universe here. Like maybe they bring David back. So a C David plot line.
Yeah.
The Predator plot line.
Yeah, exactly.
Timeline D.
I'm okay with that.
That might
one.
be its own timeline, though. The Predator one might be a separate timeline, but still,
because we got that Predator killer machine thing in the other movie, and I want to see that in use. So I need another movie.
What Predator machine?
That machine thing we got in the end of the last. Was it the last Predator movie? It was this white.
Predator.
There we go.
Okay.
And it's like meant, I guess, to fight predators or xenomorphs, one of them. And so I want to see that being used in a movie. That
movie was such a mess. They're never going to acknowledge that again. I'm sorry.
It was a huge. So do y'all think that is worse than Alien vs. Predator 2?
Well, are we going to do Alien and Predator rankings at some point? Because I'm prepared to do just Alien rankings. I'm prepared to do Alien with.
I don't have Predator on mine yet. I just have my Alien one ready. So
I have Alien and the AVPs.
Same.
So I could do either way. Any of the three ways I could go. I am prepared, but also I'm like a huge Predator fan. So like my time has come. But to answer your question, Michael, I don't think they're ever going to acknowledge that Predator killer again because they went back in time with Prey. And then Prey was so good. I think they're going to continue either. Well, they have two Predator movies in the one called like Badlands. And then there's Prey 2. From what I understand, they're
okay.
So all that to say, I don't think either of them are gonna touch on the Predator killer. But I promise you, if I ever get to make an AVP or a Predator movie, I will maybe think about bringing back the Predator killer armor.
Yes, have Sanaa Lathan wear the suit, and then she's killing the predators.
Oh, we're gonna bring up a whole a multi-universe, and we're gonna have different fucking. It's gonna be like the MCU. It's gonna have Sanaa Lathan. You're gonna have You're gonna have Ripley, Rain. You're gonna have so much. A mess.
Oh my goodness.
But I would like them to continue like the Prometheus world because I did find that world interesting. Again, dealing with the different type of species. Like again, going back to Covenant when they was on that planet and they stepped on those spores. And it's crazy as like those little things can just get in your ears and you don't know. You're minding your business or whatever.
Right.
Michael's just talking about it. And that's how you're contaminated. And all of a sudden you got something going in you because of a speck of something. Yes, the environment, which is crazy. I found that very interesting. So I want to know more about like those type of things. And I'm still kind of confused with the engineer stuff. So I want to still know a little bit more about them as well. So
like,
for sure.
Do any of them still exist? Hidden somewhere.
Well, David like killed that entire planet.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just think he's out there still doing dastardly deeds.
Oh my God. Rain is going to run into David. Dude. Oh God.
Yes, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And
David versus the next
playing fucking opera.
Andy versus David. Woo. Andy, he's going to need another chip. He's gonna need another chip. He's gonna need an upgrade. He's gonna need something because
She'll
David
give him some
is
upgrades.
yeah.
So, do you guys want to do our alien rankings now?
Sure. Let me pull up
Who
my
wants to go first?
Letterboxd.
I'll go first. I'm not going to explain
Alrighty.
my. Of course, this is how I'm feeling today. This could change. So I have Alien as the first one. Just to me,
Hell
that
yeah.
is the scariest. Second is Aliens, because it's probably, to me, still the most fun. Then I have Romulus, because I just saw it and it's in my brain. So I'm not going to say it's going to stay there, because you never know. Then I have the classic Alien 3 at spot number 4.
Okay.
And, ooh, for some reason, okay. Ooh, I'm already feeling like changing something. Hold on.
No, say it with your
Okay,
chest.
I'm gonna. Okay. I have Alien Resurrection next. But the reason I like Alien Resurrection, it reminds me of like a Poseidon or Poseidon Adventure kind of thing, where it's like we're descending into this part of the ship, and then we have to go through here and there, but it's aliens connected to it. So that is 5th. Then I have Prometheus. Then I have AVP. Then Covenant. Then Requiem.
Trash. Trash.
Do you want to go next, Bobby?
Sure.
Yeah,
'Cause I
let's
feel
see
like-
what yours is.
Because you got Resurrection of fucking above Covenant, child. Okay.
Winona Ryder.
Okay.
Sigourney Weaver playing basketball, beating people up. You have a guy with a gun.
You like
You
goofy
get aid
shit.
and shit.
You like goofy
Yes.
shit.
It was
And that doesn't
wrong
make a
with
good
goofy shit.
make a good movie. Just saying.
It was fun. Okay. It was fun to watch.
Sure. You know what was fun?
goofy is good.
Sometimes, but keyword
The aliens
sometimes.
massacred one of their own to get out of captivity. They killed their sister to get out of captivity. That is great stuff.
They're smart, but we already knew that they were smart.
Yes, but this time we saw them
Anyway,
killing each other.
All right,
the movie
Bobby.
was fun. Yes, the movie was fun. I'm not saying it's a horrible movie, but whatever. Aliens is my number one. I get why Alien is number one for a lot of people, but for me, I just have more fun watching Aliens. The soundtrack is a lot more better, and I get people say it's an action movie, but I just think that it's the superior one. I have a good time watching Aliens. Number 2 is Alien. Number 3 is Alien Romulus. I feel like it's probably going to stay there. I don't think it's going to move. Number 4 is Alien Covenant.
Trash.
Hell yeah.
No, it's not trash.
This is a Covenant safe zone, Michael.
Exactly. Come on, man. Alien 3 is number 5. Prometheus is number 6. AVP is number 7. Alien Resurrection is number 8. And AVP is the last one, number 9. So there you go. There's my rating. I enjoy AVP more than Resurrection.
I'll allow it.
I am gonna start some drama.
Here we go. Let's go.
And because I wanted
I'm
to
ready.
I just wanna just get as much drama out of this as possible. I'm gonna start from the bottom.
Okay.
And at the bottom, I have AVP2 Requiem. The drama hasn't started yet.
It's gonna start
And
after this, I'm sure.
At number 8, I have Alien 3.
Okay. That's
I
fine.
like Alien 3. There is a big gap between Alien 3 and AVP2. But I just have to say with Alien 3, I think it has some of the best ideas in the franchise. But it just gets so boring. And then I forget I'm watching the movie because I'm off in my own little world. And then I miss 10 minutes and I'm like, oh, wait, did I miss one of my favorite parts because I was daydreaming because I got bored? yes, I think Alien 3 is a
This is a slow burn
brilliant
for sure.
film, but
Terrible CGI too.
and I love Charles Dance in it, Charles Dutton Jr. I
Great.
think he's fantastic. Peter Pothaway is in it. It's a great cast. It's a smart script. I just
And
think
it's the darkest of them all, and I love that.
I don't think it's that dark though. I think Covenant is, but we'll get to there. We'll get to that. But I like 3. I like 3. But something had to be at the kind of bottom. Thank God for AVB 2.
Yes.
Being the clear bottom.
Yes.
Thank God for AVP 2. But because at number 7, I have Alien Resurrection.
Fear.
And I put it above 3 because I like having a silly, goofy time. I
Yeah.
like my silly, goofy movies. Let's do this. Number 6, I have Alien Romulus.
I can understand that.
Bobby, no! Bobby has left us. Oh,
I'm fine.
I
It's okay.
like Romulus a lot. I think Romulus has the opportunity to like climb the rankings. It has it's the problem I have with Evil Dead Rise. I've seen it the least.
Fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've already grown attached to a lot of the other ones.
Yeah.
But that being said, I also have some issues with Romulus, which we've already talked about.
And you're good. I'm just happy that this is
But
not
yeah.
like, Resurrection wasn't, before. If this, if Alien Resurrection was on top, Austin.
Tamon, you heard that?
We still got some drama to go.
Tamon have several seats.
Number 5, I have Prometheus.
Okay.
Okay.
I love
yeah, that's clear.
Prometheus. I love David. I love Shaw. I love the fun little abortion scene. It's so gross. It's so nasty. I love Idris Elba. I love the 30 seconds of Patrick Wilson we randomly get in the beginning.
Yes.
I forgot about that. And I was like, oh snap, I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, same here. And like Charlize Theron is great in it. Random old makeup Guy Pearce. I'm always gonna be a fan of that. I think Prometheus kind of loses where sometimes it's dumb in the plot, but it's so smart in the theme. So I can forgive a dumb plot if you're making me have an existential crisis.
Yeah.
Because like after I watch, and that's why Romulus is a little bit lower, is because like we talked about, like I like a lot of the stuff it's doing thematically, but I don't think it's as thematically strong as it could have been. I think some of it gets muddled. Prometheus plot gets kind of dumb, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make when your theme is that strong. When your concept is that strong, and when David is such a dastardly dude.
I had to point out that scene I'm so sorry, but when
you're
you was
good,
talking about Prometheus and that scene when Shaw was getting that thing out of her stomach, and she was trapped, that scene to me is always like one of the top tier scenes because I don't know what I would do.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was.
Oh, and the fact that it wouldn't let her have an abortion, she had to do like remove foreign object.
Yes.
So good. And to be clear, like I put Alien Romulus at 6, Prometheus is at 5. Those are both 4-star movies to me. And the next one is a 4-star movie as well. But number 4, I have Aliens.
Okay.
Yeah. I expected that, Bobby.
It's fine. It's number 4, so it's fine. Top 5.
I love Aliens. I just happen to like 3 Alien movies more than I do Aliens. And the ones that and it's like hairs, but Aliens, I think is fun. I think, but to me, it's not a 5-star movie. I think Aliens gets a little slow at points, and I don't.
Ooh.
I think Aliens
Beginning,
is
yes.
really. I think Aliens is really good, but my really only issue with it, to me, it's a big issue, but it doesn't make the xenomorph scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only
And
time I only
yeah.
think it's gross when they're in the ceiling, they look like roaches to me. That's literally the
Yeah.
only thought.
Because you're right, it is like quick, like when they're like shooting them. That's why a lot of
Mhm.
people consider that more of like an action movie, because when they're like shooting, them,
Yeah.
you just see flashes of them like getting shot up and them screaming, but it's not necessarily. It's no like very tense scenes with the xenomorphs. It was more of a tense scene with the facehugger, like I mentioned earlier, inside that room. And then
That's
the
my
queen,
favorite
but-
scene of the movie. That's my
Yeah.
favorite scene of the movie. And with the queen, when they have that face off, that's a tense scene, but it's not tense like scary. It's tense
Yeah.
like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like you're
Yeah.
about to see a shootout, and like what's gonna it's tense in a different way. I think it's
Yeah.
a great. I think it's a really good film, but for me, something's holding Aliens back for me. As much as I love the Queen, and I
Mhm.
do love the Queen, and I think Sigourney Weaver has her best performance as Ripley in Aliens.
Yeah.
And if you're like, hey, you want to watch Aliens? I'll never say no. I love Alien. Bishop is one of my favorite characters. Bishop might be my favorite character in the franchise that isn't Ripley.
Okay.
Although David makes a argument for me. I think Andy and Rain, they're going to be contenders too.
I thought
Yeah.
Mike, when you said that, well, also said something's holding it back. I thought Mike was going to say Newt, because he cannot stand her.
All I'm going to say is this whole time I've been saying things I liked about Aliens, and I didn't mention her. Not the actress's fault. Not the actress's fault. I think she did the best she could.
Yeah.
With what was given to her.
Ripley.
One last hot take before I move on. Aliens is not one of my top James Cameron films.
I mean, I love it. Say more.
I love Aliens, but I love almost every James Cameron film more.
Okay.
What are those films?
Titanic?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Avatar?
Yes,
2,
Mike. You only
Terminator,
and see people
Terminator
die.
2,
That's it.
True Lies, The Abyss.
True Lie.
True
The
Lies.
Abyss,
Lies.
Okay.
I love
Austin.
True
Jamie Lee
Lies.
Curtis with the hair and that.
It is
yes.
so good.
No, I love
Fire.
True Lies. That's one of my faves too, but not over fucking Aliens. Come on.
I gotta speak my truth, Bobby. I'm sorry.
I can sit here and watch True Lies all day, but come on.
It's hard when you're James Cameron and you're only putting out banger after banger after banger. Thank God for Piranha 2. If it wasn't for Piranha 2, I'd say Aliens is my least favorite James Cameron movie.
There you go.
Thank God for Piranha 2.
Okay.
So number 3 is Alien versus Predator.
Huh? All right, buddy. Let's see you wiggle your way out of this one. What are you gonna say?
2004. I was
Yes,
10
I'm
years
there.
old.
Yes.
That's all I need to say. That's all I need to say.
Okay.
It was a fun movie.
That was the coolest shit ever.
It was. I went to the theaters to see that with some friends, much like Freddy versus Jason, and we had a great time watching it. I'm still a defender of the fight scene. I've seen a post recently on Twitter saying this is the most mediocre fight scene. I don't know why we went up for it. I thought it was still a good time.
Oh, at
for
the
what it
end.
was.
I thought it was the coolest shit I ever saw when I was 10 years old, and I think it's the coolest shit I ever saw now.
Yeah.
And Grid is my favorite, other than the original.
You can play as someone Dead by Daylight now. I was playing Dead by Daylight, and they actually got Grid, the xenomorph, on there. And I was like, ooh.
because I love Scorch now from Romulus.
Yeah,
I love Scorch.
they probably will because they got Rain on there already. They put Rain on Dead by Daylight already really quickly.
No,
Oh,
Andy,
wow.
but they got Ray.
She's like a DLC though. Like she's like a if you get
That's
Ripley,
quick.
yeah. But I didn't see Scorch though.
Soon.
Yeah.
Soon. But I love Alien versus Predator. And here's the thing. Alien is one of my favorite movies of all time. Predator is one of my favorite movies of all time. When they're going to make a baby, I'm going to love it. Unless they fuck it up, or maybe they don't light it correctly. Then I might not like it as much.
Yeah.
I'll move on. My number 2 is Alien Covenant.
Yeah, I predicted that.
I'm a Covenant truther.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with it when it came out. I think it's the meanest film of the franchise. I think it's the most brutal. I think it's the most violent.
This is the one where it comes like out of his mouth, right?
Yes.
Like it just spills.
So
like
I was like, what the fuck?
It's so brutal. It's so visceral. I think it has the bleakest ending. In a bleak series, there's not a lot of hope in this franchise.
It's not. You're right. Because a lot of people get annoyed where like certain characters die, but if you realize like everybody pretty much died, and it's usually like one person that survives, or maybe two.
Right.
If you're including an android, but like everybody,
the company's still on that bullshit hundreds of years later. Apparently, so nobody put a stop to any of this.
Right.
So
I need the poster where the xenomorph is on that ship, and it's like that. It's literally the cover for Covenant, where he's on the ship and the girl's like blasting him on the thing, and the way he's like on it. Again, they move like like they don't move like regular xenomorphs that we're used to. So I love this version of a xenomorph in Covenant so much, and they're more aggressive. He's banging his head on the fucking windshield, like.
Oh, when it bites the security camera, when it's on the and then when it takes out the couple in the shower, like that's such a sleazy, grisly scene. Like, oh my goodness, I love Alien Covenant. But I do have to say, Alien Covenant, AVP, and Aliens, I rotate those. Like some days, Aliens is number 2. You know,
it just
like
depends on your mood.
Exactly. So I juggle those a lot. Those are all very close. Although with time, Alien Covenant's really not letting go of that second. It's more Aliens and AVP going back and forth. Alien Covenant's a 5-star movie to me. I have no issues with it. My only issue with Alien Covenant is it's not my number 1, which is Alien.
Yeah.
Perfect movie.
I like this ranking. I'm okay with it. And the only reason why is because you got Covenant so high. Because I guess you say a truther as well.
Yeah.
Because I love Covenant so much. So, yes. Oh, yes. I'm with you.
Well, would it interest you all to know that Alien 3 is the only one Ripley had a moment of happiness and satisfaction? The only one.
No, she had a moment of happiness in part 2 as well.
No, that was not
not the way I'm picking up.
She had prison love in the 3rd movie.
She didn't have sex in that one, did she?
She did.
No, she didn't.
Her and that doctor, whatever the hell he was.
They didn't have sex.
Yes, they did.
I could have swore they didn't. I thought like that was like her new boo or whatever, but they didn't like get there yet.
They did.
You trying to make me rewatch it? I don't remember that.
I gotta say, when it comes to Alien rankings, I don't think there's a wrong one, and I mean that.
Yeah,
unless you put AVP 2 Requiem as number 1, then I might be like, really?
But you know what, Austin? I'm sure somebody in the world that AVP 2 is literally their number 1 because maybe they have a nostalgic reason why. Maybe there's something about that they have an attachment for.
No, it's a little ballsy. They implant a kid, and the kid had a chest burster moment.
And you smell a kid. I'm talking about what about a pregnant woman? And she had fucking many.
That right?
Oh, that was crazy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
I wish I could have
seen it. Jeez. So yeah, it was ballsy.
In the Pred Alien.
Yeah, how we
That's what you
forget?
want from that. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I
how we
just wish
forget?
we could have seen it better.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
guarantee you, once they remaster it and they just fix that, I'm gonna like it a whole lot more. I think a bunch of people will. Because
Yeah,
I
they
think
normally do that
Alien
like
is.
on Blu-rays or 4K, but I don't think I will buy that movie on 4K just to see that. I'll just
I
brighten up my
probably
screen on the
will. I'm a
TV.
sucker.
Now, if it came in a box set, yeah, I'll buy it. But like, because it's included, obviously, but not by
Right.
itself.
I
It's
think
aliens
Alien
on
as a
Earth.
franchise is kind of like Star Wars, where
Mm,
people tend to like not like the new stuff. So like when the Star Wars prequels came out, people hated them.
hmm
I'm old enough to remember how much people hated the
With Hayden
prequels.
Christians, whatever his name
Yep.
is.
And Natalie Portman and Ewan McGregor.
That
Now
sucks.
people hate now people hate the new stuff and the stuff from 20 years ago was great. Then
Yeah.
why were you bullying me about it on the playground? There are many other reasons to bully me back then, but why? Why? Because of the Star Wars prequels. I want my justice. Now they're cool? That doesn't
Right.
help me as a 30-year-old.
I feel like when you give things enough time, people find, oh, the movie wasn't that bad after all. It's like there's so many
Yeah.
movies that's like that now, where I see people on social media just like, oh, after like I give it a the 8th watch, and after like 10 years, the movie's not that bad after all. And I'm just like, come on.
Well,
Like
you're
I
seeing it
honestly
with
feel that's going to
Prometheus and
happen with,
Covenant now.
yes, a lot of
People are
people
like,
hated
yeah.
Prometheus. Now
Mhm.
everybody loves Prometheus.
I can
Covenant, people starting
somewhat
to
get the
slowly come.
Prometheus mess only because I don't think people were people were probably going in like, I want to see the xenomorphs that I'm used to seeing. I want to see this and
Yep.
this and this.
Mhm.
And so when you're not getting, they just didn't know how to respond.
But the thing
something
is, when
different.
Prometheus came out, it wasn't marketed as an alien movie, right? Like it was marketed as like something else, and then it was kind of like,
Which is probably why they
it's
named the other one
connected to,
Alien Covenant. That's probably why they didn't just call it Covenant when
right,
it came out, so you knew it was an alien
Right.
movie.
right.
Exactly. And like,
Honestly, I think it's smart
we
that they
all
did that.
change.
Yeah.
And as we grow, the movies don't change, but the way we watch them does. So like
hmm
Romulus, for me, I have Romulus a little low. It could shoot up to as high as 2.
hmm
Aliens might shoot up again. Or, AVP, like maybe I rewatch them like, now what was I smoking? That movie's not nearly as good as I thought it was. It might plummet. Like that shit happens.
It
I
does.
doubt it. AVP rules, but I just wanted to throw out a hypothetical. But whenever they make Alien Remus or whatever Alien project they do next, I think people who aren't really liking Romulus, I think a lot of them will be like, it ain't that bad. Maybe
Mhm.
I've judged it too harshly.
Literally, the only things I'm seeing is the fan service comments
Yeah.
and maybe the ages of the characters is a negative
Mhm.
for some people. And then the treatment of Annie. But even the treatment of Annie, I don't hear people saying this makes it a bad movie. It's just shit they didn't like.
It's just stuff they did. Exactly.
Right.
But there's some people, every time, again, they mentioned how bad this movie, well, not how bad the movie was, but again, dislikes this. I just keep seeing the fan service stuff. And I'm just like, I don't think that would take me out of a fucking movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to
It's
take
supposed
me
to
out.
be entertaining. Okay,
right.
the main
Like,
point.
and if it's fan service, so the fuck what? We love it as fans. I mean, there's still other things in there for you people to enjoy, but let us have our moment,
There's
okay?
goofiness, there's cheesiness, there's shadiness. One of the
Yes.
funniest moments, probably not meant to be funny, is that gravity elevator scene
Mhm.
where the elevator's falling down, and so Rain, she like huddles up to the ladder, and then you just see the xenomorph peek out of the
Peek
side.
out.
I
Yeah.
love that. He's just like, hello,
Yeah.
it me.
It caught her and saved her technically.
Oh yeah, that was a good
It
moment
was
too. I'm just like, you technically
He's like, no,
saved
I'm gonna
Ray.
kill you. You're not
And
gonna fall.
I want
Die
the
from the fall.
satisfaction.
And like I'm not like I hate fan service. It was just the one part where I'm like, I didn't like how you did that. But
Yeah.
like my favorite bit of fan service was when they killed the one character we haven't mentioned at all. What's his name? Tyler
Oh,
or Alex or
yeah,
something?
the brother.
I think it's
Yeah,
Is it Tyler? Yeah.
Kay's brother, Rain's ex, like the main boy. His death I love because it was fan service to the classic like second tongue, like mouth tongue
Mhm.
punching the head that and
Mhm.
with the very quick like frame going into the head like you have in the original. Oh, that was the classic alien kill.
And that's when
My
we see there's more
favorite.
xenomorphs. I was like, oh, bitch, there's more
Yep.
of them in here.
And that shot is taken straight from
From
Aliens.
Aliens, yeah. The way
When
they were
they're,
all
like,
up there
upside down
crawling.
and
yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's when I get
Yeah,
the
so
point
I
too.
like
I was like,
that.
yes.
Like I said, I like fan service when it's done tastefully. And for the most
Mhm.
part, I thought it was but people, what I think is tasteful fan service is going to be different from what someone else thinks. So I'm
Right.
not going to say
Mhm.
what is, it all depends on how you watch it. I just will defend where it's like, oh, that movie was just fan service with no original ideas. That is not true. And
It had
now,
some fan service
now
for
we're
the
about to
game
get
too.
canceled.
Alien
Thanks.
Isolate. The moment when they descend down that tunnel and you hear the
Oh
stomping
yeah,
of the xenomorph, that reminded me of Alien Isolation when you know it's like nearby and coming. So that was a moment I really appreciated.
and I saw someone from that worked on Alien Isolation, I think, said like, oh, here's like the terminal where you would save.
Mm.
Featured in Romulus. Thank you for the shout out, and I'm like,
That's dope.
because I didn't play Alien Isolation because I'm scared. I'm scared of it.
Understandable. It's
I'm
a
going to
lot.
replay it. I'm going to get because they got the expansion pack where you could play with the
Mhm.
characters from the Alien movie, like
Oh,
Ripley and I think Dallas and them. It's called
Ooh.
Nostromo package or some shit
how
like
much
that.
is that?
So, well, it's probably I don't know. It's probably cheap now because that game been out for like what 7-8 years now. So,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
got the
get
game for like $8 or something the other day for
yeah.
PlayStation. No.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I
I
seen it
just
on.
got.
You didn't even tell me, but I seen it too.
No, it was after you said it. I went
Yeah,
and
I seen
checked.
it when the other day. I was like, oh, it's $8, but you have to get like PlayStation Extra or some shit to get it. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do that.
Well, I finally got Dead Space. I've never played
Yeah.
Dead Space before. I finally got it. I still haven't played it because I'm scared.
You're gonna
But
be.
I took that
You're
first
gonna
step. It's staring at me. So one of these days, I'm just
Ooh.
gonna press play.
Headphones. Play with headphones and in the dark.
You really trying to scare the shit out of
Alien
Dude.
Isolation and Dead Space are that is the best way to play both of those games. Headphones and in the dark.
I like to think I've conquered horror movies. Like I don't really get scared by horror movies anymore. Like I went into Long Legs. I'm like, that wasn't that scary. I thought Long Legs was great, by the way, but I'm like, I slept like a baby after that. I am so tough. And then like I'll play a video game. It'll be like Spyro. And then enemy would like just
Not
pop out
Spyro.
and go, Jesus. Dude,
The little
seriously. One
dragon.
time I was
Ratchet
playing
and
Star Wars
Clank.
Battlefront. I was playing Star Wars Battlefront. And I'm, playing the game, and then I turn a corner, and Darth Vader's right fucking there, and I threw my controller because I got so scared. I'm not an angry gamer. I just get scared.
Yeah.
So you're perfect to play those games.
I guess so. But I got to talk real quick about Alien Romulus. It had a jump scare that got me so good. The last movie that made me jump like that was fucking Skinamarink.
Ugh.
Which Skinamarink is a movie. I'm glad I saw it. I never will see it again.
Right.
I mean that as a compliment. Because it was so like it reminded me of like when I went to school for film and watching experimental movies. That's what.
Mm.
But anyways, the phone jump scare. When I saw that movie in theaters, I jumped 15 feet in the air. Like I kicked the ceiling of the movie theater. Popcorn got everywhere. I'm low key being serious.
I didn't
When
finish
we
it.
saw,
Not
you
for
don't
like
have
bad
to,
reasons. Literally,
but
that last shot, I was scared. I was like, "Oh no, I'm not even gonna finish watching this."
that's the ultimate compliment you could give a horror movie, really.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
in Alien Romulus, when Rain is like pulling herself back into
Oh,
the ship,
yeah.
and then we're in her view, and then the hybrid
Yep.
is right there.
Mhm.
I jumped so high. I was like, oh my god. I was so happy. Because like
It's good.
it's not hard to make me jump because but it's like it's normally like, oh, you got me. No, this was a
Mhm.
Jesus, you took years off my life. And I was so happy. It got me so good. Got a lot of people in my theater so good, actually. I wasn't it was
Yeah.
not the only one. Uh and it was such a good moment.
Yeah.
And I love that whole third act. I gotta admit, when it comes to Alien Romulus, when I was watching it, I was like, it's solid, it's fine, you know. I'm gonna give it a favorable review, but it's gonna be it is what it is, you know, like three
Mhm.
star, maybe 2.5 if I'm feeling, you know,
Ooh.
that third act. That third act, I I got out of I was like 4 stars. That third act made it so much better for me.
Yeah. I was waiting for that third act.
It
I was
was
like, this is not
everything.
because like much like Alien, when you think it's over, Ripley thought she got away, but the whole
Mhm.
time that fucking alien is sleeping on the inside the
And we're
thing,
all
he was
just
like,
waiting because we
we're
know
all
it's
just
not over. We're like,
is it
we know
yes,
it's not
we
over.
and I was like, for one, this alien just don't go off like this. There's always something. And then this is Fede Alvarez. He always got an insane third act or whatever. So I'm just gonna wait here and just figure out what the fuck this is gonna be. And I wasn't expecting to see that hybrid thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was intense. It was
And it was
intense.
creepy,
Very
and it was
creepy.
shot so well, and
Hmm.
like I said at the beginning of this live stream, Fede Alvarez knows how to shoot the alien.
Hmm.
And the way he shot The Offspring, I think, is what people are calling it. I'll
Oh.
call it the hybrid. My
Yeah.
friend called it Jeff Bezos,
Oh
and
my
now I
gosh.
can't unsee it.
Not Jeff Bezos.
They did a good job with it though. That moment where Key,
Yeah.
wasn't it Kay, is like
Mhm.
sitting down and she's like trying to collect herself and she looks up and it's just dead silent when they
Yes.
Mhm.
show it. The silence is what freaked me out while looking at the creature. It wasn't even
Mm,
that it was just there. And then the music, this like pulsating like music they're
Yeah.
playing for the rest of the
mhm.
time. It was tense.
And
Yes.
the second time I saw it, I just went by my so the first time I saw it, I had a bunch of friends and my 90-year-old grandma and my mom.
Oh.
Oh.
Um, but it was like a whole we almost filled up a whole row for the first night. And then the second night, I just went by myself. And it was pretty packed and I was in the middle of the theater, so I was surrounded by people I didn't know, which is fine. I'm an
Mhm.
adult. The dude next to me was like, "What the fuck is that?" And that made
Yeah.
me so happy. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hell
Those
yeah."
reactions from other people in the theater is sometimes what makes and it adds to the experience too. Because it's like
Exactly.
especially if you've already seen a movie, you go back a second time, you're like, oh, wait till they see this shit.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. I'm like, "Oh, I know
Mhm.
what's coming." You think
Yeah.
that's gnarly.
Right.
It's about to get worse, friend.
Yeah.
So,
Oof.
mm, I I really like Alien Romulus. I kind
Yeah.
of want to see it again. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna see
it
it
is
again for sure.
Yeah, it is getting a little late, so I'm gonna wrap things up. Do you guys have any final thoughts or any things you want to make sure we get at before we
Yeah.
put a bow on this?
Final thought: justice for Alien 3. And if you can, go see Alien Romulus in 4DX. There's a lot of moments where you are swirling and twirled about because there's just the damn spaceship crash. There's a lot of shit happening during that. You're twirling around. The moment in the beginning where they're even ascending into space it's just random shit. It was a fun experience.
That's cool.
But try to get a cheaper ticket because that was like $30 and I'm not paying that. So try to get it cheaper.
Was that your second? That was your second 4DX movie, right?
Yes.
Or did you
so
see
if
more?
You have Sam's Club or Costco or some sort of perk app where they give you movie tickets, check that out, and then you can get it for cheaper.
Noted. For me, I give Romulus 4.5 stars on my Letterboxd. The only thing that I was leaning more towards a perfect rating, but I just couldn't help but wishing that again the violence was just there a little bit more. I just wanted a little nudge of more violence.
Ooh.
And also there was one opportunity that I wish that was there where there was Andy and Rain running, and how it was shot. I was hoping to see a xenomorph chasing behind them. And I had that, and I wish I could show y'all the still shot, but it's a still shot of them running, but there's nothing behind them. It's just a shot of them running by, and then it goes on to the next scene. If we see the fucking xenomorph chasing after them, I would have been like, that would have just been intense.
Angela in Night of the Demons chasing after them in the hallway, or like
not levitating, bitch. Like just literally running after them. The bitch was literally roller skating down the hallway, looking like she was. No. Like literally just chasing behind them. Like I just wanted to see, like you mentioned earlier, like a chase or something. We didn't really get much of that in here.
If
I would have actually seen it. Yeah,
so,
I would have loved
them actually run would be interesting.
Yeah. But outside of it, besides like me wanting to see that and the violence, that's why I think I took a star, like a half a star away. I think the movie is great. Still remains my top. I enjoyed it. It was a good ass time. I can't wait to see it again. And it just keep giving me Alien movies, because after all these years, the first Alien movie came out in the 70s and we're still getting them in 2024. And the TV show that's being worked on as well. And I know it's not going to be a tie-in to this, but I just hope that they do the TV show justice and is really, really good. So cross fingers for that. But yes, loved it.
Alrighty. I'm going to echo your guys' statements. I really like Alien Romulus. Right now, I have it as my 4th favorite film of the year, which I think is pretty good. I was hoping it'd be my number 1, but I can't lie to myself because it's Alien. I had some gripes with it, some disappointments from it. Mainly, I think I agree with you, Bobby, where it's like I wanted it to go a little bit harder. I thought it could have been a bit more violent and brutal, especially because it's about young kids trying to escape, trying to make their lives better. I think the metaphor would hit harder like it did in Evil Dead, even Don't Breathe.
Yes.
Right.
And I think like it's just one of those things where Fede, I feel either the studio wanted Alien Romulus to be tamer, or Fede wanted to fit into the tone of the first two more. Yeah. I wish it was a bit more Fede than it was Alien, if that made sense. Like I wanted to see Fede's Alien. I didn't want to see Fede imitating Alien.
Yeah.
And for the first 2 acts of the movie, that's what it kind of felt like.
Yeah.
I get that. Agree. I wanted that in Evil Dead where she's licking the razor and it's like I wanted like moments where I felt like, oh, this is visceral. Like I've seen the tongue pop into somebody's head shit already before and all that.
Right.
So that's not really gonna like wow me. So I wanted to see something different which I did not.
Yeah.
Right.
Like to Austin's point, like we could have had a scene with the acid when it's killing Bjorn, and we literally see the acid peeling and melting his face, and
Right.
just seeing his face literally, like, just give us a little bit more, y'all, a little something. I don't
But
know.
once it hits that third act, that's where I felt like Fede got to be.
Oh, Fede. That's him. Yeah. That's Fede.
Yeah, exactly. That's alien.
Yeah.
I have one last question.
Not Fede trying to be Ridley or Big Jim.
Right.
But Fede got to be Fede in that third act. So that's why I went from 2.5, 3 to like solid 4.
Yeah.
Solid with opportunity to go up. So I am a fan, and I think I will like it more as I watch it more as you watch
more, yeah.
At what moment would you die in this movie is my last question before we go.
That's supposed to be Austin's question to us. Would we die?
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot
killing his show.
I forgot the whole purpose of my show. I was not gonna think.
Mike had to remind you.
Yeah, Mike, you get me. You knew I was not. Oh my goodness.
There's many moments, honestly. But
yeah, I'll answer first because I dropped the ball. I would have died right away, like opening frame. Not kidding. If I was in that group, it wouldn't be. I think I would die when. What is the ex's name? What is his name?
Johnny?
I think it is Tyler. Didn't you mention like Tyler or something before?
It's either Tyler or Alex, and I don't know why my brain is like that, because like those are not similar names. I'm looking it up.
It's Tyler. It's Tyler.
It is Tyler. Okay, it is Tyler.
Yeah.
We're doing, guys. This is live, but but no, Tyler's death. That would probably. I think I would. That would be mine, because I just don't think I would get face hugged, because I don't want it, and I'm not done on.
Because you don't want it. That's why they're going to go at you more, Austin.
Yeah, they're going to be. We're not messing with him. We're not messing with him. He don't want this. They don't want this smoke. I'll be like, let me at him, face huggers. Let me at him. But and I wouldn't be Bjorn, but the dick.
Bjorn.
Because yeah, Bjorn. Because I'm not going to. I'm gonna listen to the exposition robot when he says they have acid. I'm not going to do that. So I don't think I'd get chest bursted. I don't think I'd do that. But I'm definitely not Rain. I gotta be honest with myself. And I'm not Andy either. And I think
I'm Rain in the sense that I would have left Andy. I'm sorry. I would assume you were gonna die. And I just would have left with Kay, and we would have been gone. Although the creature still would have came out. So I mean,
you still would have got that.
I think the moment where we have to cross the room with the face huggers would have been because I would have been too scared to go in there.
Yeah, that's me. I feel like I would not be able to control any of my emotions during that scene walking through that room unless I was blindfolded or something. If I seen those things anywhere near me, I would have been freaking out. I don't understand how they did it. I would have to put something around my mouth. So if they did jump on me, they can't insert, So
I would have just went back to my marching band days where you have to like ignore the environment and like that opposing team fans heckling you, and you just have to. So I would just imagine like the face huggers were just those pesky Michigan fans, and I would just
right
go through like I'm on parade. And they not bother me, I'm not bothering them. Even though it would be that arachnophobic.
Yeah. It would be that scene when they're all coming out, or even at the end. Like if I was to make it far with Andy and Rain, that ass of shit would have got me out of here, because no sense of direction. I wouldn't know what to do. I would have been a
Oh.
lost cause for me, so I would have got burnt up. So
Sure.
Tamon
either
would be
way.
screaming. Yes, Tamon's a screamer, so he would be dead.
Oh yeah. Soon as he's
Wait.
like, "Oh," that thing would latch right onto his face. Open mouth, baby, right there. You were helping him out, Samon, actually.
But I think I get the classic.
The classic
one.
through the
Oh.
head. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And you know, I
So
said
would
the
you
same
rather
thing.
that or a face hugged and have it burst through your chest? Because it would be like
I'd
instant.
rather
Right.
have that
Yeah.
because
Because
that's
you would
cool.
feel the pain from it coming throughout your
But it's
chest.
not guaranteed they're going to pop you in the head. They could do anywhere. And there were all the other ones too. So I was assuming he was just getting popped everywhere on his body with those tongues.
Well,
So-
he got popped in the head first.
Well, so
That's
he
their
was dead.
signature.
So he was
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's their
I would prefer
signature.
that. Just like Brat in the original. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Harry Dean Stanton. That
Oh,
I will always pick that one. So God willing, when I make an alien movie, I will write myself a role, and I will get that death
get in the head.
because I'm serving the ultimate fan,
Yes.
me. Ah, yes.
High school.
So, all right, guys, this has been so much fun. But
Yes.
chat, thank you all for joining. Thank you for being an amazing chat with us. I'm sorry I didn't do a great job keeping up with the comments, but I'm getting better at this live streaming thing, I think.
Mhm.
This is so much fun. I love doing this. Nighty night, man.
Night, night.
Thank you for joining us. Your comments crack me up, so I love it. But yeah, I enjoy this, guys. So good night. Good night, Jordan. You have a great night. I probably shouldn't say good night to everyone. This is live, but I'm going to. Good night, Paul. And thank you. It's Tuesday. I'm gonna have a great weekend anyways, because you told me to. Thank you. But where can
I'm with you. How
people
I feel
find
right
you?
now, I feel like it's a weekend. Might as well
Right?
be there now. Shit.
yeah.
They can find People Under the Scares. It's a horror podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We do have a Patreon. We are taking a break for the next month up until October for spooky season. And
Hell yeah.
we will be back scarier than ever.
I
And it's every
love it.
Monday. But if you haven't heard us, there's like 100 episodes. So you got plenty to listen to.
Yeah.
And
there's a
listen to
lot.
episode 69. It has
Yes.
I love that you remember that, Austin.
how could I forget?
And the future episode coming up next season as well.
Yes, we got you.
I'm there. I am there. So thank you everyone for joining.
And Austin, just to let you know, I think Jurassic
Yeah.
Park is one of them. I don't think it's but is one of the most listened
It
to.
is one of them. Mhm.
Yeah, on
People
our
love
analytics. So
people
yeah.
love dinosaurs. All righty. Peace.
Good
bye
night.
guys.